Stefano, that guy's Energy here, and I am here at the Sky Tower in Taimaki Makoto to check out the new Sky Slide, which is just opened. Let's go check it out. This is their brand new virtual reality experience based up on their main observation deck. It's a crazy ride, offering 360-degree views of Auckland at up to 100 kilometers per hour. The motion platform imitates the 3D rendered open-air slides, twists and turns above the skies of Taimaki Makoto. Counting down. Punch it. Let me at him. Hey! Free air. Whoa! Whoever's done the render for this has done like an incredible job. Whoa! It's also really comfortable, like the motion platform's super nice. It's actually really selling all of these like different twists and turns. Another free fall, whoa! Whoa! We're heading home, boys, we're heading home. Whew. So it's $40 for the experience, which includes viewing platform access, or it's just $15 on top of your tower ticket. And it's for ages 8 and up.
Rocat, experience precision.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to day 2 of the Biocode Lab CSGO Pro Season 2 season. Say season one more time. Mitch, it is great to be working with you once again, my friend. It's been a hot minute since we last worked together. In fact, over 3 years ago, I believe there's some crazy stat like that. But it's great to be here, and I am very keen to get underway with, well, what I'm sure to be a pretty interesting night of CSGO.
100%, yeah. We only got the one series, but I'm hoping that it's going to deliver twice as much and give us all the entertainment value that we want and give you an opportunity to shake off the Counter-Strike rust. And look, as far as I'm concerned, any day with Rob Monday is a fun day.
Oh, stop it, Mitchell Pilipowski. I love you too much. And so too, I do love the format. And it's time for us to dive a little bit deeper into this one. For those of you that didn't check out the matchups yesterday, of course, day one really kind of showcased the format that we are going to be running through. So for those of you that missed it, Pilly, would you like to run them through it?
Yeah, I mean, we've been running this format for a couple of seasons now. Basically, it's a competition in 3 stages. We're here in the first stage right now where you get to see some of the teams that came through open qualifiers and things like that. take on some of the other teams that are of a lower standing. Then you've got invited teams in the next stage that the top 4 teams from this stage will go and play, and we'll take the top 4 teams from the second stage to play each other in the semis and the grand final for all of the beautiful prize money and the glory.
Speaking of the prize money, Pilly, geez, you're good. You're good for a segue, aren't you, my friend? $10,000. And of course, there's an extra pineapple on top of that. And it looks like it's gone to 4th place. As you said, Pilly, that's going to open things up a little bit more. But that is a fairly decent chunk considering, you know, some of these teams, it's a great opportunity to compete, one, in a competitive environment, but two, for this kind of prize money.
Yeah, 100%. We've got a lot of domestic leagues supporting the local scene, but LPL is one that's been great. It's been around for a while now, and you know the prize money's a little bit top heavy. So obviously you want to be winning all those games. You want to win that juicy grand final and get yourself a bit over $1 grand for you and all the boys.
It would be very nice, wouldn't it? Just over 6K. That's it's a very decent chunk to be taking away. Of course, for those of you, as we were saying, that missed last night, it was day 1 for this season. We'll have a look back at those matches. Pilly, you were covering them, and I think I'll leave this in the precious hands of yourself to explain what unfolded.
Yeah, so first we had this game between Underground and Arena. It was a very, very close one. This first map of Inferno went all the way into OT, and it was a pretty entertaining game, all things considered. I think Underground were probably the underdogs of this series. They've got a couple of players that I haven't seen too much from yet. They had Moon as well as Nyx, who both really impressed me. And then obviously over on the side of Arena, it's the core 4 of a team that's been playing, in fact, all 5 of them have been playing domestic leagues for quite a while and doing quite well for themselves. They were, in my opinion, the heavy favorites of this series. And in fact, they kind of demolished the other team on the second map at Vertigo. It was not a close game, but in terms of Inferno, a very, very tight victory for Underground. And they actually managed to close Overpass. So they caused a little bit of an upset here on day 1.
Well, it's definitely put them in prime position. They obviously moved through in the upper bracket. The next game really unfolded. I believe Nutty actually came out with the heavy hand. But at the end of the day, Pilly, did you see anything from this that might have been eyebrow raising? You know, maybe even from the Elemental side? Yeah,
I think they got in with a couple of good rounds. I think the standout for Elemental for me was definitely Isaiah with the Orb. That's a player that I think, especially here on Dust 2, he just decided to start doing some crazy like Zywoo-esque plays, like running out long A and just quick scoping people and trying to put the team on his back. But at the end of the day, as is the case in these kind of leagues, you get teams like Elemental, you can see in this Pool A upper bracket here, they qualify through from the open qualifier stages a lot of the time. Maybe they don't have as much competitive experience or as much tenure in these domestic leagues as you might see a team like Nutty have. And as such, they just didn't have the caliber that they needed to be able to take that series away.
Of course, so, you know, just to summarize for Group A, Underground and Nutty, they pretty much are going to be competing for that Stage 2 qualifying match. Well, I mean, that is the Stage 2 qualifying match, and then lower bracket, still a fair bit to unfold there. We'll have a look, of course, at Group B as well, because knowing that there are 2 groups to this A and B, it's pretty simple. There's not too much to write home about. Of course, there is one big note that we need to remark on, Pilly, and that's, you know, for me, if you want to draw your attention to that upper bracket, well, the upper half of the upper bracket matchup, we have unfortunately had a forfeit tonight. We were talking in the green room a little bit earlier, and we really expected Camo to kind of be taking this one, so a very strange moment for a forfeit that's really put them in a bit of a spot of bother.
I think Camo might be potentially the strongest team in this group. It's probably between them and Warriors, if you ask me. So to see them actually forfeiting a game and going straight into the lower bracket, not to take anything from the boys on God's work, that's a core of players that, look, they're a bit of a mixed team. I don't know if they really practice very much. In previous other seasons, they haven't put a whole lot of practice together, but they still manage to sometimes pull some decent results together. So if I'm them, I'm absolutely laughing with a forfeit win and a chance to go on in the upper bracket and maybe even qualify for the next stage. But Camo is definitely not a team that you can take in that lower bracket.
Well, that's, I guess, a really dangerous point to remark on. Lower bracket could be anyone's. We'll have a look at the schedule for tonight. Of course, just with one match at hand. See it down the bottom there, Collateral Esports. We'll be taking on Vodafone Warriors. We didn't really get a chance to touch on them when we were looking at Group B there, but do you have any expectations here, Pilly, looking at this matchup?
Yeah, I think Warriors are a pretty strong bet in this one. However, Collateral, it's a team that I'm interested in. I'm intrigued by because they're a group of players that they have been grinding the domestic leagues for a little while, and I'm keen to see maybe what improvements that they've made or if they're going to be of the quality to try to scrape through this group stage.
I'm sure the audience will be keen to see what this lineup actually looks like. So let's go ahead and bring up Collateral, talk about them a little bit deeper, maybe some of their players that we're really looking out to. Who in particular, Pilly, are we looking to for Collateral? This is a big matchup for them. What names are you kind of drawn to the most?
I think just like the core of players. I think, we've seen Ender kicking around in a few domestic leagues. I know that Crafty and Harbour and Epiphany, some of these guys, I've seen them, on the HLTV pages playing various domestic leagues. I haven't seen Marcello before, and this is something that always intrigues me, is that the great thing about covering LPL Pro is that, we do get to see some of these players coming through from the challenger leagues and lower tier leagues like that. And it's almost kind of like their chance to have their breakout season in pro, which is, something that I got to do many, many years ago, like a million years ago. And it's something special because you actually might be watching like the next big thing for the first time before anyone's really got a chance to see them. And I'm hoping that maybe you get to see a couple more breakout players this season.
Well, players that might be breaking through into the upper bracket, it's the Vodafone Warriors. Let's have a look at them. And again, I probably ask you a similar question, Pilly, but there's probably a couple of more known players on this roster, at least from my eyes, obviously, very old eyes, that is. I'm looking over at this roster, probably to Prodigy and Calamari that obviously have risen my eyebrows, but is there anyone in particular that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, Calamari was someone who was playing on the Lonely Five lineup last season, and two of those guys we actually got to see play last night as well for the boys who were playing against Underground. The team name kind of escapes my mind now. Obson was playing for a very, very solid team who came second in the recent Melbourne LAN and actually started the year very well, playing like in the rivalry tournament. They did reasonably well for them. I think it was Antic, and they changed names a couple times after that. And obviously you got, Drox, Prodigy, Kyson. These are players that have been kicking around for a while. Prodigy in particular, famous for playing in the same intermediate team as me and not winning a single game. That was a great season. Really enjoyed that one. But look, we'll gloss over that.
Gloss over that nice and quickly because that was a hot minute ago, Pilly. We'll maybe we'll do a history lesson on where you've come from in a hot minute. But it's time to have a look at the head-to-head brought to you by Biocode Lab. And really, when we're talking about this matchup, funnily enough, it's the two that I was most drawn to. Again, my old eyes that I do have. It is crazy. Yeah, it might have been like you picked them as well, to be completely fair. But yeah, anything that you do want to remark on here? Obviously, I'm going to leave it to the professional to really bring any hot tips to this point.
I know almost as little as you, honestly, Rob, as, we don't get to see these guys play as much. A lot of these domestic leagues, they don't get as much coverage unless you're like, watching some of those, MDL broadcasts and things like that. If they're on or keeping an eye on the HLTV pages, there's a lot of domestic leagues kicking around, this one being a great one in particular. And so I kind of view this as an opportunity to see these guys play and learn more about them. And as we get through more and more of these games, we will get more informed and, see who's going to be performing well.
Well, if you want to stay on the ball, if you want to stay mentally focused, I have a really good tip for you. Biocode Lab have some incredible products to stay on the edge of the game, the forefront, Pilly, of the Pro League here. But of course, if you want to learn out a little bit more, ! Biocode in the Twitch chat, or of course, you can go to biocodelab.com, pick up some of their products. If you would like a cheeky little discount, LPL 20 for 20% off. We can turn our attention to something that I want to say would usually predict a series, would be a good prediction for a series, but maybe not so much here. We're kind of going in with a little bit of the unknown, the uncertainty. Yep. Map vetoes are an important part to talk about, Pilly. And I don't want to ask you whether you have any predictions because I don't think the predictions are going to be too good here. We go to Nuke, then Ancient, and of course we finish up on Mirage.
Yeah, whenever we talk about vetoes, a lot of the time we talk in generalities. You know, you talk about the middle of the map pool, the maps that everyone likes to play, the maps that you see played time in, time out in a lot of these domestic leagues. You know, you see the best of ones on Mirage and Dust 2, Inferno. You know, these are the maps that people like to play. But I've seen a lot of these teams do love, you know, a Nuke, love an Ancient. So it's good to see them being the opening 2 maps. This might even be the first time that you get to cast Ancient, which will be nice and fun for you. Obviously closing it out on Mirage, the ultimate decider, the best map to run at your opponent and shoot them in the face.
Mirage, the ye old faithful for me, Pilly. When I look at this, it's actually kind of cool because not a hell of a lot's changed, but yet there are some things that blow my mind away. Ancient is going to be one of them, no doubt. But I am keen to see, you know, from a perspective of Nuke, both of these teams, again, with my expectations where they are, I'm really unclear and unsure what to really expect going into this. But I always find Nuke to be an incredibly interesting map to watch, more so from a pro's perspective, you know, if we're talking about the elite level. When it comes to teams, players that may not have the synergy of those, let's say, elite teams, Nuke for me becomes a bit of a rabbit hole. You can kind of dig yourself pretty deep on this map. So I don't really know. Again, I'm going in with dampened expectations from both of these teams, but I'll give it to you as I usually would for anyone else. Do you have any clue which way this series is going to swing?
I'll probably just lean in general terms to the Vodafone. I would say, you know, they've got a pretty solid roster. I would say it's interesting to see them start out on Nuke. Being a map that you pick, it means that it necessitates the fact that you have to start T side. You have to kind of be self-starters. It gives the other team kind of the opportunity to play out that CT side. And if they get rolling, you can actually kind of get shut out of games. So it'll kind of be a good test of Vodafone's calling prowess. They do have like a solid roster full of players who know how to play. And I think they've actually got Chewy coaching them. I saw that on Twitter. Maybe I'm misspeaking. Who's a player who came through from that 8-ballers lineup that did quite well in a lot of domestic leagues earlier on in the year and last season, even upsetting Order, which was like a pretty good result that got a lot of people excited. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how it all comes together and see what they look like on their T-side of Nuke.
Well, I guess the other part of this conversation that we can kind of lean into before we do get to Nuke is the fact that when this is all said and done, obviously Camo awaits both of these teams, depending on, you know, who doesn't perform on the night. And if you are talking about the fact that we're going to Nuke first and, you know, Vodafone obviously starting out on the T side, well, predictions would say so. It is a little bit, I guess, of a concern, like you're saying, if they are unable to kind of get off to that start, and potentially we see Collateral take over the first half, give themselves enough of a leeway. Camo may be licking their lips down in that lower bracket, but it is time to get underway with our first match. We head to Nuke, which I'm very keen for. You know what else I'm keen for, Pilly? You can ask. Go what, Rob?
What is it, Rob? Is it something?
The Rocat Cone XP gaming mouse. It has 15 programmable buttons. We nearly got there. 29 possible button functions and unlimited gaming potential for gamers that have no limits, of course, available now. Go and grab yourself one of the latest in Rocat.
Gorgeous.
Now,
I will.
With all of this said, Pilly, we get to just get underway. All expectations out the window. Only thing that matters right now is what happens in the server.
Yep, and that's going to be a very quick uppers rush, Rob, so it's time for you to get your PvP pants on, mate.
Well, it has been a hot minute, but it will not take me long, I'll tell you that much. Harbor's going to be sitting up toward heaven, peeking in and out. Issue here for me right now, bombs down, absolutely no response from Collateral. This is going to be a very interesting retake.
Yeah, biding their time. They don't have a whole lot of util to get back into the site here, and Vodafone set up quite nicely in these post-player positions, but here's the flank in from Radio here, Rob.
Michela, gets absolutely deleted. Tries to peek around the corner. Lovely trade from Harbour, but it may well be too little too late. Harbour in a 1 versus 3. He's hit 2 nutty headshots. He's going to have to find 3 more. Down on site now. He gives himself limited options. And I tell you what, fantastic round for Warriors to kickstart this map.
Yeah. T-side, Uke Pistol, always going to be a good way to start. Kickstart that economy nice and early on. Get all the juices flowing and get all the boys fired up. Especially in a league like this, I feel like T-side Pistol's very, very good for your momentum. Did see Crafty didn't spend any cash in the first round there, just opting to go glass cannon pistols. So you are going to get a full CT force out, and Collateral are going to give this a bit of a crack, see if they can cause a bit of an upset.
Like this from Warriors as well. Stick toward outers and force Collateral to face check this. He's not going to be able to get anything done with that scout, surely not. It could have been problematic. Crafty at the moment. Hot flash, sorry, smoke. That goes to show how long it's been for me.
It's all right.
In fact, it's not good, Pilly, I'll tell you that much. It's not good for me.
Yeah, it's buying tie and lowers. Trying to make the T's feel more and more uncomfortable, but the T's just opt to scale straight into uppers. A couple of quick frags going the way of Kyson and Drox, and they're going to get that plant down, no problems at all. CT's priorities now shift to finding some exits, see if they can find any damage and chip down this T-side economy, because this round is pretty much unwinnable.
Bit of money, some weaponry, maybe some utility to be taken from this if Collateral play their cards right, but doesn't look like they're going to be too over-invested into forcing any of those kind of easy pinches. And I wouldn't even be surprised if Warriors are keen to get in the face here of Collateral, take some of those guns out of the hands, and it looks like Prodigy's going to be the first to make contact. Got to hit those shots, that's for damn sure. Scout's now going to tag them up. Omichella should be able to pick them one by one, but it really won't make a difference at the end of the day. The economy is now being damaged for Collateral, and that is really fortunate. A little Scout taken into the next round.
Yeah, Scout did save over one pistol as well, so a couple of guns that could do a little bit of damage. I'd say a pretty even result. Warriors not too unhappy about that, only dropping over a couple of MAC-10s, which they'll now upgrade into AKs. And again, just try to head into this anti-eco and try to build up that T-side economy as strong as possible, heading into round number 4, which will then be the first buy round. See Warriors, the standard anti-eco, they're sitting around in lobby, seeing if the CTs are going to go for some kind of a lobby crunch, but they won't be obliged, so see where the T's will go from there. Maybe some outside smokes, or maybe just a bust on the timing into upper.
No pressure for Warriors yet. Time plentiful, and obviously Collateral, like you said, looking for anything. A little bit of a freebie here. 2 AKs upgraded. There could be an opportunity to take some of that weaponry away, but I could not imagine Warriors are going to be allowing this one to slip. Omichella is going to back away. With that ramp conceded, so too Hell completely gone. Crafty potentially looking for a little bit of a flank, but has well and truly been shut down.
Yeah, Warriors just applying some pressure to ramp room while sitting tight in lobby, maybe waiting to see if any of the CTs will kind of aggress off the back of that contact, off the back of that pressure. Now Warriors kind of picking up the pace into upper. EP gets caught on outside. That's a nice couple of frags in from Ender. Even gets the dink onto Obs, and a lot of damage done there, but Omnichella with nothing but a USP to his name. Not sure how much. Oh, he's actually got a dig. So honestly, one shot potential on both Obson and Calamari, but it's a difficult angle of approach for him.
And at this point, he's just going to go for anything he can take. 2 players falling for Warriors, I think. That's not obviously not problematic, but it's a very good takeaway for Collateral, who, when you think about the investment taken into this round, it was nothing but saves from the previous. Callum's obviously heard something. Michela looking for the engagement. That could have been a little bit dangerous, honestly. It would have been 3 players falling for Warriors, and economy starting to break a little bit, but all in all, decently done. And I think that's a pretty convincing start for me.
Carson getting himself hydrated. That's good to see, considering he looks very sunburned at the moment. Rest
Really
of the
pill.
Calamari's the only one who is holding on to that MAC-10 heading into this next round. So we'll see what the angle of approach is going to be for the T side. Looks like an outers push here very early on. Wall of smokes, but Calamari going out in front of it almost catches Crafty. A lot of damage done to him, so T's now trying to complete this 4-on-5. 3 players on outside. They have that one lurker left behind in lobby. Could be a bit of an annex split on the cards. We'll see. EP's looking for a pick on outside if he can find it.
Bonus round damage from Callum. Be somewhat happy with that. EP though, that's a fantastic pick. No one there to trade for Warriors, and unfortunately that's 2 unattended picks. As Prodigy now tries to poke ramp for 2 players to contend with. And it does not seem doable at this point. Warriors slowly crumbling. And Collateral, this could be this could be a huge round for their economy, that's for sure.
Yeah. If they win first gun round pretty flawlessly, they're going to be happy with it, especially because Drox and Prodigy are pretty broke. Drox and Obstin having a look in towards lower. There isn't any rotations down there at all from the CTs. They're quite happy to give up control of lowers and allow the CTs to kind of set up, or rather allow the teams to kind of set up a post plant down there, which, look, could be dangerous in terms of how many guns they can bring through. They don't have a whole lot of util to be able to retake outside of a couple flashes. That's not ideal. Not how you want to be giving away first pick. 2v4s on lower are not outside the realms of possibility.
A lot of isolated fights that can be taken. It looks like Drox has just found himself another. This is starting to crumble at the hands of Collateral. If they're not careful, this will seriously slip away from them. And waiting for an opportunity. Another pick. This is devastating for Collateral. We were giving them their praises. Oh my God. Warriors have just dismantled them on the lower side.
Yeah, Collateral fumbled that one big time. Big opportunity for them to have a really clean gun round. We were looking at the fact they had 5 alive and they were going to have a very, very clean first gun round, but they gave Warriors so much space down in towards lower. Bit of a misplay on the first player to peak Megaton. Starts to kind of make the rest of the boys a little bit nervous. And exactly like you said, lower's bomb site, absolutely perfect for a 2v4. So many opportunities for you to get aggressive, especially given the space that the CTs did give.
Tactical pause out for the Warriors.
I want to say another indicator of how long it's been since you casted Rob is Prodigy has grown facial hair in the time that you...
I know. I didn't know whether to meme it or not. I didn't know whether to have a bit of a joke about it. Definitely the last time I saw Prodigy, it was all baby face. So it's
become a man now. Are you proud?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
There's a half buy for Collateral. That's it's going to be a bitter pill to swallow for sure.
Yep. Lovely pick. Crafty, unfortunately, forced into the area to take a peek, and Callum is pretty much destroying Collateral at this point. EP not going to get anything done. Can't blame them for doing so either. And it looks like this is going to be a very sound round for Warriors. And you've really got to start to worry a little bit here, Billy, with how poor this economy is going to end up looking. I mean, if they're unable to attend this next gun round, Collateral are going to be in serious issues if they're not already.
Now, an issue is half-buy hasn't really done any damage at all, which gives Warriors multiple gun rounds back-to-back where they could just re-up, reinvest, keep trying to break that CT side money. Collateral at this point, pretty much full loss bonus, so next gun round's going to look real healthy. Going to be full util. They can even double AWP if they want to. But like I said, with no picks that these Deagles have been able to find, the T-side economy is monstrous. Obson up to almost 12k. That's 2 to 3 buys back-to-back that you'll have to win as a CT side to start to put pressure on that T-side economy.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good position. Like I said, it has been a minute, but I still understand the economy game, my friend. And Collateral, at least they get somewhat of a full buy here. Maybe, you know, barring some utility pieces on Michala and maybe 1 or 2 pieces here or there, but it is enough to withhold a push by metric tons. Prodigy's made his way through the smoke. This is a really dangerous position. Is Endo going to check this? Surely he does. They still can't see him through the damn smoke. Oh, no. Oh, not like this. Ender, no! Prodigy, oh my word! How has that ended up with Ender finding the kill?
Spectator
smoke.
Warriors. It's a thing to behold, isn't it? You just never know who's going to win those duels on the Go TV. It happens. Collateral's gone for this double AWP here, Rob, and it's not going too badly. They found a pick in the meanwhile on outside, as well as winning that duel in uppers. So now 3-on-5 for Warriors. You've got to convert here as Collateral, but all the AWP shots are connecting, so it's a good sign.
I'd love to say that this is done and dusted and we're penciling Collateral in for a cheeky little round win, but that definitely has not been the case so far. Obviously, a 2 versus 5 has already gone all right. Don't think it will happen this time. Warriors are given very few options, and they're not in great positions either to try and take these fights. Already shut down. Tyson tries to peek around the corner of Hut, and Harbour's waiting with open arms. Obson, the last to remain. 30 seconds left. There's no expectations whatsoever. If you can take some guns away, fantastic. If not, well, all is well that ends well for Collateral, and that is a very big round for them to be able to, at the very least, establish some kind of foothold in this game.
It's a good way to get back into it. 5 players surviving is going to effectively buy them more gun rounds going forward. And like I said, they need to win quite a few back-to-back to start to put pressure on that T-side economy. Prodigy's starting to run out of money, but, you know, you still got the bank of the Warriors there. Obson on 7.5k can probably drop a couple of rifles over. Still leaning on this double warp setup here for Collateral, and I think Warriors did spot it out. So we'll see if they change their approach or their angle of attack here. Do have those outside smokes, and it looks like they're going to throw an uppers exec off the back of that.
Good opportunity to do so. Are they going to explode fast enough? Harbour backs away, completely blind. Now leaves the sole man of Ender on the site. It looks like they're more than happy to try and retake this. Lovely timing from Harbour to come back in, but that is a fantastic trade from Prodigy. Now Harbour just needs to stay alive. They've already got a flanking Crafty in a fantastic position. Might be able to find a double here. The bomb does go down, and he does find a double. An important double at that. Kyson and Callum left in a 2 versus 3.
Biding their time, waiting for EP to flank in from Annex side and take some contact. You got T and CT vent being played by both of the Ps. In comes the flash, and the CT scale out heaven. It's gone well for the entry. Callum left in this 1v2, a good position to play around from Tetris, and he's just playing the angles perfectly. No kid on Omnichella. This is all done and dusted, I think.
Callum, all he needs to do is repeat this angle, and there's nothing that Omnichella can do about it. A fantastic 1 versus 3, an explosive call from the Warriors, and that really makes life quite difficult here for Collateral. They've got a full buy in this, but my word, 6-1 up on the T side of Nuke. They are well and truly showing why this is their pick.
Yeah, it was a good call as well. They recognise the double orb setup is a bit problematic with some of the slower play styles. They throw those outside smokes for info denial and then just go for an uppers hit and force the round into a post plant. It's always a nightmare for an AWPer going on that retake. Another buy-in, and it's 5 rifle here for Collateral. They're playing a little bit more aggressive posturing over towards radio. You've got this combination of vent as well as top hut being played between the Annex and the Squeaky players. And Warriors, no outside smokes from them. They're just kind of milling around in lobby. Looks like they want to go for a bit of a ramp contact here.
Absolutely deleted. Omnichella, unfortunately, cannot do anything about that. Fantastic shot from Kyson to open things up. Crafty now caught at the back of Hell. And this is the site for free. Is there anyone that stands in the way? Collateral are going to have to make a choice here. If they can't find a pick, if they can't find an opening back into this, it's going to be a little bit awkward. Things are slowed down completely, though. Does open things up. Bomb's gone down. Oh, Callum, surely not! You cannot be doing that. He has absolutely, well and truly, just put the nail in the coffin for Collateral. Obviously waiting, well, for the hammer to drop at this point, but Warriors are flying.
Yep. God, hello, Darkness, my old friend, playing in Ender's Head. Waiting for the boys to come and retake down secret. He was holding on to vent control. He was doing everything right. Does revenge his fallen comrades and take out Callum, but Prodigy comes in for the trade, and Warriors, I mean, they're grinning from ear to ear. They're all staying nice and hydrated. Got lots of water flasks. Good to see. They're feeling great about life. They're up 7-1 on T-side Nuke. They just reset the CT economy and put him on a half guy again. This is a excellent position. Not only, I mean, obviously are they just front running pretty hard, but even if Collateral was to make a comeback, this forces them to be proficient on their T side to make a game of this, and that's not necessarily going to be the case. Very quick one into uppers, but this is exactly how you want to be posturing anti-eco for the most part. A couple of frags coming the way of the CTs, though.
You know what? For all their attempts on ecos or pistol rounds, Ender's done an okay job. He's found a 2k earlier with a P250. Done a little bit more damage with the Deagle here. Could have been a little bit more, but that's all right.
Yeah.
EP now just sitting on the top of Hut, and this is a pretty relaxed round, I think, for Warriors, unless they overextend. I like this from Collateral. They're doubling up on the A site, and I mean, you've got to make a call, right? You've got to make a choice. You've got pistols. There's not much you can do.
Yeah, Warriors kind of just giving the CTs enough rope to hang themselves with. See if they're going to put a toe out of line. Sound cue will have been heard by Callum as EP drops off hut there, and he's going to punish accordingly. Callum well aware that the other CT is probably close enough for trade potential, holding that lobby line, but no need to fight that angle. Over-aggress is just going to sync up with the rest of the Ts and play things stock standard as possible.
Yeah, some wild shots from Ender, and I don't believe we're really going to see too much. It would really take a miracle, and I'm all for hopes and prayers, but I really don't think that this has any validity to it whatsoever. So Warriors sitting back, and this is a really, really great position for Warriors. We're talking about, you know, the kind of danger that they were putting themselves in, picking Nuke, obviously being forced to start out on the T side. It gave Collateral a little bit of an in. And it's not to say that this game is over by any means, but this is going to be just such a tough trek. You've already lost the half. And from here on out, the best score you've got is 8-7. It's just not fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible position to be as Collateral, because the issue really lies in the fact that these have been pretty clean rounds for Warriors, right? So they have got a great money behind them, which forces you on the CT side, if you're going to make a comeback, you got to win like 4 gun rounds. Like 3-4 gun rounds in a row to pressure the economy. Then maybe you get one anti-eco to try to make it back to 7-8, and from there you have to play a great T side to win the game.
Flashes out. They're just going to force their way out into uppers, and why not? You've had success with it pretty much every other time. Ender goes absolutely huge on Hut, and Harbour holds down from heaven. That is a round that you love to see from Collateral, and hopefully will give them a little bit of momentum heading back into this.
A great reactive utility at the HE nades. That's great spray control from Harbour. Like, Ender was the one to get 3 there, but that's really, really great spray control from Heaven. Great use of the A1S. And those are the kind of clean gun rounds that can start a comeback at least. Still got to win 2 more.
Fair way to give full pardon across. That's a fantastic way to start out the round, though. And Harbour's found a pick onto Kais. This is literally just starting to fall away a little bit for Warriors. Obviously, I'm jumping the gun a hell of a lot. There's a lot of time left for Warriors to be able to sneak this one back. EP in a fantastic position. They'd retreated back in Annex and were taking the fight over towards Squeaky. That's what you love to see.
2 on 4 here. See if Collateral can keep this as clean as possible and kind of cement their economy going forward into the rest of the half. There's only so many rounds left to play with, and you do want to kind of grind it back to 7-8 if you can, and best way to do that is just keep this nice and clean. 2-man contact, nice off angle from Nicello, especially with how low these players are. This is not a difficult spray down by any means.
Yeah. Almost. Almost clean. Hobson recorrecting after a cheeky little dink. 10 HP. And EP. Really nice little correction of the crosshair. And I'm going to give credit to EP there. Just the mobility in which he brought to that round. You love to see it. First kill over by Ramp. Second kill out toward Annex. Nearly found a third in Hut as well.
Yeah.
Very mobile, very dangerous.
Here's the money-making round, though, for Collateral. This would be the reset round on the T-side economy. They have built themselves up enough cash to rebuy if this doesn't go well, so they're in a better position here on CT side. Warriors starting to change things up. They've been very active towards uppers and ramp room, now starting to explore outside. They're going to throw the wall of smokes across. Flash over the top, tries to set up Crafty, but great anti-clash positions from the T's. Punishes, gives that first pick to Warriors. They're going to just use this smoke cover to get all the way down into secret, and this is going to start to pull apart the CT rotations and create opportunities for these lobby players to activate.
Test what a almost full-looking defense for Collateral looks like on this lower site. Unfortunately, with Crafty gone, it makes things a little bit underhanded and probably underwhelming at the same time. Doesn't look like Collateral are really in any position to find any information as to where these players truly are. So very much calmed down, Pilly.
Yeah, they're just chilling. I mean, Warriors are waiting for the CTs to push in a 4-on-5. It's pretty common for the CTs when they're at a disadvantage to try to even up man advantage or go for a push somewhere, because the 5v4 numbers are very favorable for T's. Warriors have just been given lower sight and a whole lot of room to work with. And last time they had a numbers disadvantage. Well, this time they got a numbers advantage. They're controlling the rotations down vent. There's even 2 players here. Prodigy's even there to trade. Usually you only have the 1 lurker to back a lobby. There's no way you're getting down the vent for collateral.
It's looking really good for the Warriors at the moment. And
Yeah.
collateral had... Yeah, shoot.
It was a good call. It was a good call to go lowers again. Like, they found success down there earlier, right? And the way collateral's playing CT side, they're just kind of pretending lowers doesn't exist.
That's how I live life with debt. I live life like that with debt. The lowest site is the debt of my life, you know? If we just pretend it doesn't exist, then all is well.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that it's punishable.
Yeah.
But do agree, that's a very solid performance so far from Warriors. I think it's, you know, obviously we've seen some pretty solid individual performances from the likes of Kyson and Callum, but I do think the way in which that, you know, they're deciding these calls are very convincing for me. And EP, gotta hit that. Absolutely have to hit that.
Bit of a missed opportunity. Harbor's going to capitalize though. That is the problem with those close smokes, is that player from Heaven can actually get a pick over the top of it if you don't cross close to them. And you can see from where the T died, he was right up against the fence there, so doesn't use the wall of smoke correctly and does get punished accordingly. Now a man advantage for collateral. EP under pressure as the T's take warehouse, but he's all over it.
Nice trade from Kyson. And now EP's really got a fair bit to do here. It's the last smoke, the last piece of utility as flashes are picked up from Warriors. Lovely flick from EP. He's got a little bit more to do. The correction, nearly fantastic. Omichella cannot find the trade, but Crafty is there from Secret. Drox so low. This absolutely needs to be found. Crafty over Pigs. Oh my word. Nearly falls by the wayside again.
Now they broke the money. This is going to be a force from Warriors and a chance at 6-9 for collateral if they can, at an easier 6-9 scoreline if they can win this one. I dare say Warriors go low util and just buy 3 AKs and pistols here and try to make a round of it. And indeed they will. So collateral here, reactive util is an absolute must, and if they can close this round down quite convincingly, then they can potentially give themselves an easier run at 6. Very quick one into uppers here, Rob.
This is dangerous. This is really dangerous. Harbor needs to step up. Ender's still up and uncontested. Once again, finds himself a multi-kill for the round. Kyson can't do anything. The last player to rotate in after using the util. And that is the round that collateral will be very happy to receive. Going into the last round of the half, you're looking at the money for Warriors, and it's just not at all convincing.
Yeah, for sure. It's got to be Tech Force with util. Just Kyson on the singular rifle, so it's a much easier round for collateral to win. Again, reactive util. Let's make sure we're not caught by any uppers rushes for the most part, and that looks like exactly what it's going to be from Warriors yet again.
Why not? Why not? You may as well test it for a 4th time, and this time it will be successful. EP is completely shut out for now, but will have an opportunity to get back into this once all of the util does dissipate. Michela on the flank. Ellen's got control of Squeaky. They just need to be careful not to overextend here. This could give a really easy pick back, and there's a double there. It's slowly falling apart for Warriors. They do still have 2 players on site, AKs in hand. They do need to step up. Obson will find the first, and now Kyson, he sits and he waits. Crafty throws out the smoke. Kyson knows it's not a bait. He can sit there. He can wait for him to turn the corner. EP the last left with an AWP. Awkward fight to take. Still waiting for the time. Low HP. Kyson will clutch up big time.
Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity there for collateral. I mean, I know that previous round they did just have the uppers rush that they shut down, but they took for granted that the boys on Warriors wouldn't just re-up, which is a pretty high percentage play when you have the Tech 9 armor. Like, there's only so many viable plays that you can really go for with a buy like that, and uppers rush is definitely one of them. Especially when you're on a full buy like that, you just have to throw the reactive utility, like, just as a base measure, and unfortunately they skip a couple of pieces of util there. They allow the T's to scale out, and they're punished for it.
Do you reckon those maths that were on screen were actually, like, accurate?
I never do maths. Never do maths. Don't trust the
definitely
maths.
not on a live broadcast. Come on, mate.
No.
you reckon the drawings on Nuke, do you reckon they're accurate?
For sure. Yep.
No doubt about it. Callum's got a fair bit of a challenge in front of him. EP will delete him on the first entry point. Now things get really damn awkward for Warriors. Oh, actually, Drox could go big. Finds himself a double and 2 players left on the A site for Collateral trying to stop the rotates. It's turned into a little bit of a disastrous round yet again after such a promising start from Collateral.
2-man rotation. Down the vents, down secret. The T's have taken control of decon. Not really any utility to speak of. P250 on Omni is going to give him, or Omni, I should say. I don't know why I've been calling him Omni. Should give him a bit more range to maybe take a fight against some of these USPs. And EP's already looked sharp in this round. In fact, if he snaps up the last 2, that'll be an ace for him. Glass unbroken, though, and the doors unopened. So there's going to be 2 pretty big sound cues for the CTs to play off of.
Arsenal an early point. They're still waiting for the single door to be peeked out of. Obson.
It has to be said. It has to be said. He did close that one down, but what was Drox saying? He was saying nothing. The door swung wide open. He said absolutely nothing. Obson's staring at Decon.
God,
and he's gone, oh, the T's are out on site, mate. Man's fallen asleep at the wheel.
If I do not see a Doorstug video with Pilly's voiceover there of the animated door reopening, I will be very, very disappointed. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting call, I would say, or lack of communication. But with the Collateral taking a timeout, this is really probably one of their only chances to take the timeout. They're going to have to wait or force into this. I mean, either way, it's not fantastic for them.
Yeah, look, my base level assumption is that teams of this level are going to have a real tough time grinding back a game on T-side nuke, especially when it's not their map pick. So I think Warriors they're well aware that they're probably in the pole position here. There's a bit of an over-investment on SMGs though, and there's a force buy on the T-side, which could definitely bear fruit if they can win some of these duels against the SMGs with armor. Maybe stay away from Obson. What's the play for Collateral? They wait out the initial util, just chilling in lobby. I think they're going to try to explode uppers on a nice timing here.
Got the utility to do so. Able to cut off the player toward Annex. Callum and Obson will be forced to take these fights on their lonesome. Minute 10, a lot of time here for Collateral to work with. A lot of utility as well, which obviously opted in for the pistols. This could be dangerous. I do enjoy this, Billy.
Free smoke on doors just as the flashes come out, blinding the CTs. Calamari still plucks one of them straight through it. And the T's are going to go straight down vent and try to get this plant down on lower.
Oh, Drox, you got to hit these ones. Nah, crosses. Unfortunately, that is going to be bombed down. At the very least, they're going to be able to take a little bit of economy into the next round, and there is not a chance Ender's going to be able to do anything about that. But what's going on there, Drox? But probably going to be able to take away some weapons here, but by the time he gets there, even if he finds a kill onto Prodigy, it's not going to be enough. And Vodafone Warriors, again, just inching closer. I mean, bomb down, fantastic work, but that's really the only positive I've got for you.
Yeah, that's going to afford them a little more firepower into this round. You're going to see a couple of Deagles upgraded to Scout. That gives them an outside shot at winning the round, but also CT side economy isn't quite established just yet, so every pick the T's get here is going to be pretty big for them. Like you said, though, they are kind of running out of room in this game. Only so many rounds left to play with, and Warriors at this point have at least bought themselves a position where even if they do start to drop a large majority of rounds, they'll start to benefit from the loss bonus to get those buys coming through, and I guarantee they'd probably close this game at this point. One way or another.
Very astute observation from you.
The odds just shifted as well after I said that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how this works.
I miss the days of like the old mate
live
Vladimir, you know, messaging me on Twitter DMs asking me who's winning this game.
It's yeah. Good old Vlad. Not gonna happen anymore though, Pilly. No one cares about your opinion.
It's true.
don't even think if there were good odds on this, I don't even know if I'd back them. Lovely work from Crafty.
Yeah.
Just trying to slow things down, but none of the shots connecting whatsoever. This one's definitely one for the books. Oh, hello. Little cheeky.
It's been hit with the uppercut.
Maybe another?
Good damage though. Took 3 guns away from him. You can't recover the rifle either. All they came through that round with was 2 MP9s. So that's not too bad for Warriors. Not the end of the world, you know. It's going to be a bit of a pseudo bonus unless they upgrade, I'm assuming. And indeed, they're holding over the MP9s. All right, Collateral's down or never. We've gone in with the AWP as well, so that's a bit of an advantage, but they can use to potentially find a pick somewhere. I'd say EP is good for it.
Well, he's definitely proven his worth when he's had the big green machine in his hand. Michala with a lovely opening, but it is traded nice and quickly by Obson. Somewhat of a bait from the MP9. Prodigy and Kyson have gone down. That has crumbled at the hands of Warriors, unfortunately dropping far too many players far too quickly. And look, whether the AWP of EP works out or not, Harbour's certainly given them a good look in here. Obson just trying to find whatever he can to close this one out. Do not line up, for the love of God.
Need to be winning this one with 3 alive if you can as Collateral. Looking like they should be able to lock this one down. Obson might even save the A1S. The money on CT side is not looking fantastic, and it's actually the perfect round for Collateral to win to get back into the game. They're going to batter and bruise that CT side economy, and I'd say that Warriors will probably, you know, rub their pennies together and come up with a buy next round, but it's going to take absolutely everything out of the bank accounts, and that's where Collateral could really have that reset potential here early on. Potentially get themselves a 7th round and then an easier anti-eco, and following that, it'll be like a low buy from the CTs. Probably won't be able to afford an AWP or too much util. So that's kind of Collateral's path back into the half here. They just need to try and take advantage of it, but even from there, they'll still be trailing by 3 or 4 rounds by that point. And at that, you know, Warriors, like I said, will have that full loss bonus available to them. So that's where they're going to get those full CT buys through, and it's going to be quite hard for Collateral to close the game there. But look, at least they can try to forge a little bit of a comeback if they win this gun round.
You're optimistic, Pilly, and I love it. I love it. Someone's going to be optimistic here. A slow round to start with for Collateral, waiting for any of those pushes to come through from Vodafone Warriors. It's not going to happen either. Obson sitting very deep with the AWP at the moment. EP really has been quite sharp, all things considered, on the AWP. There haven't been many takeaways for me for Collateral, but definitely EP's prowess has been one. Taking it over onto the next map could be quite interesting. Kyson up close could do some serious damage for Collateral here.
Sure. Calamari's even in there with the crossfire. Collateral, they wanted to throw those outside set of smokes, but they're getting disrupted at every twist and turn. This is just confidence from Callum, sorry. He's just taking duels in the open on outside, does not care. Continues pushing. It's all on Harbour. And that is just absolute demolition from Calamari. A 4K, and all he's doing is just deathmatching.
So 21 kills so far. He's seriously... I don't think the W button has become unstuck at this point.
I mean, he literally just stomped on their comeback. Like their dreams of a comeback, he just absolutely threw it in the bin and lit it on fire.
Yeah, look at the money. Look at the money, look at the buy. Collateral in a very, very poor spot right now. Big thanks to Calamari, that's for sure. Lovely hold, and I think the better part of that was where he was peeking from. Like, the crossfire is fantastic, but it's also just the play at the end of the day. Prodigy's been able to spot Crafty out through the smoke of Squeaky. Now things have become incredibly difficult, if not impossible. Obson sits back with the AWP, says thank you very much. And Collateral now trying to force their way in, and look who it is. It's Mr. W himself, Calamari.
He's gone straight through heart and wrapped around radio room. Does not care at this point. Drox might have a crack at saving over a rifle here. Look, not bad. They took another gun with them, at least Collateral, but this is going to be map point here for Warriors. And they've got so many gun rounds to get this done.
Interesting times. Very interesting times. And I guess, you know, we're probably more so just going to completely write this one off for Collateral and start them just on the focus of the next map, Ancient. Obviously, I don't want to get there yet. That's very much jumping the gun, but...
I mean, one way or another, it's going to happen. But if they can start to win some rounds, they at least, you know, they start building up that momentum, that confidence.
Yep.
These rounds aren't meaningless, even whether they win nuke or not. You know, if you start to bring it a little closer, you make Warriors kind of exert themselves, use that energy to close out the game when they're feeling like it's a bit of an easier one. It's going to start well. Orbital won by EP. Takes Obson out of the equation here. Where do the T's go from here? Still plenty of util. Can definitely throw a wall of smokes across outside if they want to. Kyson's over there looking for a little bit of info if he can find it. But instead, just going to back away, back towards Heaven side. Respecting that wall of smokes. T's forfeiting lobby control at the moment. Harbor's lining himself up a smoke in T spawn. I think that's going to go to Windows and allow Collateral to actually wrap in through Warehouse. Like, this is cute, don't get me wrong, but we got 30 seconds to get the boys up ladder base into the upper site. Like, we got to get a wriggle on here.
It's probably more so just the time that's giving me any amount of doubt. Kyson's going to be able to hit all of that, and he can make a choice. It doesn't even look like he's going to go up toward Heaven. This is going to be really complicated for Collateral. 15 seconds left, and Calamari shuts that down. Then it opens up. Prodigy can't get anything done. Now things become inevitable here for Collateral. No, Drox, not like this. He's just shut down 3 in a row. Make it 4. No, it's the trade from Kyson, though. And that is certainly GG well played in chat, because Vodafone Warriors have well and truly styled all over Collateral there.
Yeah, it's always, it's a bit of a clencher. You know, it makes me feel very uneasy. You see a team that's, you know, a little bit less experienced, leaving it right down to the wire. Last 30 seconds of the round to get through Warehouse in towards uppers. There's so many little angles that they have to check and clear, and so many things could go wrong. And yeah, look, if that's like a world-class team like Na'Vi that are used to doing that, and their spacing is perfect, and Simple's going to like spin around and 360 turret shoot 3 people in the head, then great. But for a team like Collateral, it's just anxiety inducing, and that's exactly why Omid almost saved that, to be fair. He was doing his best Simple impression in uppers, just spinning around, headshotting all the uppers anchors. But look, at the end of the day, that's a pretty quick and concise win for Warriors there. It started off with a phenomenal T side on their own map pick, and exactly like I said, I expected them to close it out on CT side without too many issues. There was a little bit of pushback for Collateral, a couple of bright spots, and you know, we'll have to see those shine even more so, and some of the other boys step up as well if they're going to have a crack at Ancient.
Well, for me, you know, talking about players stepping up, Crafty unfortunately not really bringing anything to the table in that one. At least in the frag department, you know, I'm very quick to renege on my words. I want to be careful that I don't go just slandering anyone in particular. But
first came back, you're already talking smack.
Well, you know, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. But I probably am looking to the likes of Harbour and EP. You know, EP bring that up to Ancient. That could be a very interesting one. Speaking of Ancient, we are ready to go to a break, and on the other side, we'll see you on the Mossy Island.
Playing ground smoke. Playing ground smoke.
not playing like a noob anymore.
How is that possible?
You gotta be using hacks, dude.
Nah, dude. I got the Odyssey Neo G9.
Sweet, bro. You can finally start leveling up.
Let's keep it going, man.
This is gonna kill me.
Welcome back from the break. Vodafone Warriors have well and truly stomped out any thought in Collateral, even making it close on Nuke. They close it out something like 16-5, 16-6 in the end. I don't think the scoreline matters. It's probably the fashion in which they were able to do it, Pilly.
100%. And now we head over onto Ancient, which, look, we'll see how Collateral go. They're kind of going to have no wind in their sails heading into this map, and it didn't feel like they were kind of the superior team in terms of the firepower. So now you've got a similar kind of story. Ancient T-sides can be a little bit grindy from time to time. You do need to kind of be self-starters on that map of the T-side as well. It's not like a Mirage where you can play a bit more free flow. Maybe there's a bit more individual opportunity for playmaking and expression. You know, Ancient has a couple of positions like that. Your B ramp lurks. You can walk up through mid a little bit. You can maybe pressure cheetah, but for the most part, you do need that structure on the T side. They need to be self-starters here, and that's going to be pretty difficult to do when you kick off the last game, you know, with only 5 or 6 rounds.
Well, speaking of self-starters, how about we ourselves start the game? It's time to head underway.
It's our power, right?
With
As casters.
Ancient. It is. We've got the big red button next to it. See, I said it and it popped up. Now, as it was said in the beginning, it will be said now, let there be light. With the Rocat Magma Membrane RGB gaming keyboard. You want to style on opponents, you want to show them your true worth, what you're made of, go ahead and grab yourself one. They're available now, as is this matchup. It could be done in 2, Pilly. Vodafone Warriors are certainly coming into this with a lot of momentum.
Yeah, and it's not Rocat's words, it's mine, but if you don't have an RGB keyboard, you're a loser.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Rocat definitely didn't say that, but
me.
Big old loser.
Yeah, for sure. There's Crafty, one set of util here on the T side. Collateral, they're going to want to start this one off pretty quick. Just get this pistol. Get the confidence and the momentum rolling again for the boys. Callum again doing his best ego swing at top mid here. Even though he's armorless, he wants to try and take some heads off.
I don't mind that. Getting the faces nice and early. Flash, however, will give away that he does not have any armor, and it's going to be a little bit of a tough fight. Love that from Vodafones. They know there's mid-contact, so they push down B ramp. Why not get in the face of Collateral, who are already in strife? Drox from Single absolutely deleting these players at the moment, and this is just a bit of a display.
And they're going to put that bomb down. Harper's got himself USP armor. Try and fight back and from some of these longer range angles as Vodafone taking their time, clearing out the angles, making sure the spacing is on point. They do have the kit on Callum, so they are afforded a little bit more time to complete this retake here. Contact made by Prodigy. The rest of the boys starting to scale out Temple, and Ender cannot miss those opening couple of shots. Too much space for the CTs to work with, and that's a pretty easy retake from the Warriors.
This could be a quick one, Pilly. I'm not gonna.
Wait, okay. Here's something that it's a bit new for you, Rob.
Yes, please.
We are this. I mean, at least in the current meta, this is considered force buy season. If you get bomb plant, you're dropping some AKs and you're giving it a crack. So CT pistol win doesn't always really mean too much when you can get these, you know, Khalil armor buys, AK drop buys.
Yeah.
Popularized by a lot of these, skill heavy teams in the world rankings. Last little bit. Got old mate who can pop off with a nice little rifle.
Ah, yes, old mate.
Yeah, we all love him. Warriors, they've gone and taken mid control. Collateral quite happy to sit back and hold on to the extremities of the map. See if any of the CTs are going to give them any opening picks here. But how do the pieces come together here for Collateral is what I'm wondering, because they're quite spread at the moment on the T side. Flash for Kyson. Gives them an opportunity onto Omichella, but good spacing allows EP the trade. Here's a nice little smoke into Donut. Your favorite position, I almost called you Manic.
Oh, mate, it's happened far too often in the CS world. The old Eminem used to cast together, but that group of lads broke up a very long time ago now.
Too much masculine energy in the same room, that's why.
Mate, that bloke could pick me up and snap me in half, and I'm a big boy nowadays. He could make me mincemeat. I'll tell you what, it's a sight to behold. And Prodigy gets absolutely deleted. Panda takes a dink in the meantime, but unfortunately with no trade. This is really dangerous. Callum might be able to dismantle this push from Collateral, but it's just taken a little too long to make a decision. Now, they may well know that Cave is a little bit dirty.
We've got a triangle set up from the T's. Very difficult for the CTs to deal with. They're going to go and retake ramp control. Callum working his way in from Cave. We've got 3 kits. Everyone can hop on the defuse. Nice pick from EP. Drox trying to size up this angle as Crafty waits to activate over towards the right side. Nice little 1B from Drox, and they're going to hop on the defuse here, Manic. Great cover from Drox. And Warriors, they convert the anti-force. Bomb plan in from Collateral, plus a couple of guns taken away. Do they double down? They are going to double down. So another good little buy comes in, and this is the state of the CS economy meta here, Rob. You enjoy it while you're here, mate, because... you know, if you take enough guns off the CTs, you can see the green numbers on the left side of the screen ain't too many. So there is still an opportunity to break that cash nice and early here.
I don't know what meta you're talking about, mate. I've been playing Counter-Strike this way for 15 years.
Forced by every round, yep. MM had it right all along.
I'm telling you. It's unbelievable. The knowledge on this man could have taken any team to the top level in CS. I just didn't want to, though. You know, I didn't want to break through.
It's the next stage of evolution. You go to the galaxy brain, like, you know, everything's futuristic. Everyone's, you know, thinking of a million different strats. You got to go back to caveman. Just run at him with a rock.
Formed a monkey, my friend. That's for damn sure. Drox on the close angle. Be able to find himself a couple of little cheeky headshots, but after that, it's going to get a little bit complicated. He's missed the first couple. The flashes are unbelievable from Obson. Those counter flashes have just absolutely shut down any thought of Collateral taking any 1v1s for free. And there was a flank as well.
Yeah, no bomb plan as well. Ends the Force by Fiesta. Not only that, but also just the fact that the CTs retain 4 guns does stabilize their economy, minimizing that reset potential. And now the name of the game switches from Collateral trying to break the money to now doing some damage with the Deagles.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Michela. Really unfortunate. Not something you love to see.
Yeah, he's such a nice fella, Michela.
Nah, Obson just making life a little bit more difficult for Collateral here. Again, I'm not overly optimistic until I hear one of the Huandigs, and then maybe a second. That's when my excitement level starts to raise a little bit.
Oh, I was hoping Harbour had the timing for a Juan, but not to be.
That would have been beautiful. That would have been beautiful. Maybe this time? Maybe Ender? A cheeky... Oh, no way! What is that? What is that?
Doesn't matter though.
It doesn't,
very stylish. Like he did a really sick kickflip, and the camera kind of, you know, was like angled in line with the board, but then we zoom out and he's just going off a cliff.
Jumping off a vertigo.
Yep.
Why not?
All right, P. Well, Collateral down 0-4. CT side economy is built up a little bit. Nothing crazy. EP's got his hands on an AWP. That's always good if you ask me, especially when he's just clicking on players straight through smoke. Giving the man advantage to Collateral. Warriors already in aggressive positions. You'd expect a little bit of a push here. Drock's going to get very deep up here. Try to find a pick and even up the man disadvantage. You get that ramp contact on the other side of the map. CT's pushing both extremities at once because Obson sees absolutely nothing in mid. In come the mid smokes. This might draw out a bit of a reaction from the CTs here, if anything. Yeah, you do get the push from Drox, I'd imagine. Maybe not. Man's patient.
And patience definitely is a virtue. This could
Never
pay
mind.
off massively, but Harbour, I mean, you're going to expect some kind of aggression from the CTs. And if Obson doesn't hit anything here, I would imagine Warriors are not going to be overly keen to go for this. Although we do see the rotate from Prodigy, so they are certainly going to be putting their eggs in this basket. A 3 versus 5. We've seen crazier things with less mound count, but Obson going down now makes this incredibly difficult for Warriors.
Yeah, for sure. You're just chucking away guns at this point. Kaisen at least trades one back. Nice pick onto EP, has to be said, but still 3 more players to find. Time's ticking away from him. You got the wrap coming in from Temple behind Omi. Buying time on the site here, just shouldering, spamming away. 1 player to come through the smoke, 1 player from Temple. Neither of them will be needed. Nice little swing from Omi. Closes out that first round from Collateral, and it seems like the AWP on EP is a big success factor. Unfortunately, they've lost it and have not replaced it. It's been thrown back on the rifle. Big opportunity now for Collateral, though, in round number 6 here, Rob, to break that CT money and start to get a bit of a wriggle on the T side here. This is their map pick, so this is where you want to be seeing it for sure.
We definitely was set on nuke and probably reiterating the conversation. Now, EP on the AWP. Obviously, it's a little bit lucky in that last round, you know, shot through smoke, although, you know, luck plays a little bit of an element to it, but pre-aiming and finding the pick itself doesn't. And it gives us a little bit of hope. Well, it gives me a bit of hope for Collateral here. If they can start to get some sort of momentum rolling, like you said, break the economy here, force Warriors into an eco, or at the very least, maybe a half-buy pistol round. Certainly make things a little bit more easy for Collateral, a bit more breathing room, but I'm not overly optimistic. Ender in a really tricky position, but I think Callum knows. Or does he?
It's a beautiful round by Collateral, has to be said. They get Ender established up in that top mid position, and then they isolate that 1 player in towards Cheetah. Now scaling out through Cave, trying to pinch the B site. Prodigy trying to play inside of the ramp. Smoke gets punished. Obson getting a pick in the meanwhile. But unless Drox goes huge here in on the flank through Cheetah and Cave, then this is almost certainly a round for the T's.
A back Drox. He's been allowed to walk on the site. As dangerous as it may be, he might be able to find the timing. Can he control the spray on the MP9? It's difficult at the best of times, but at that range, it's near impossible. That was pretty gnarly. A pretty decent effort.
He gave it a crack. He gave it a crack. But what I found more impressive was just good fundamentals from Collateral that round. Like, for those unfamiliar with Ancient, first of all, why? Like, it's been out for ages, but basically what they did there, as this could even be a knife for Crafty. Oh, God. Oh, no. God, he almost fluffs it. He's having a bit of a giggle to himself. Still gets the knife kill and takes out Obson. By the way, that's a great 2 rounds for Collateral. They break that T-side money, but strategically that round, I mean, that's the equivalent on Mirage of just putting your lurker up in con or in window and then just regrouping over to one of the sites, going and hitting A. Then you have Enter on that lurk potential up at top mid, ready to pick the rotates and be a bit of a thorn in the side of the CTs. After that initial util was thrown on the default towards middle. So all very kind of put in place. You know, it was very sequenced. It was sequenced very well, rather, I should say, by Collateral. Just kicking things off with that default, making sure the CTs don't have too much info or find an early pick. They get Ender in that lurk position, and then they just group up towards the A side and go together.
Somewhat of an important round like this from Warriors. Shoved everyone in donut. I like shoving donuts in my face, so perfect round for me, Pilly.
There's lots of good donuts in Melbourne.
They are fantastic donuts in Melbourne. You wouldn't happen to be coming down anytime soon, would you? Take you to a couple of places.
Yeah, maybe. I definitely have not left packing until after this cast.
The typical esports schedule, eh? Nothing like it.
Hey, some people would pack in the morning before the flight.
No, you can't do that. Like, I'm not even a dad yet, and you can't do that. Like, that's evil. You're definitely forgetting something. Guaranteed.
No, 100% you are. Yeah. Liking this from Collateral. Again, kind of a defaulty play. I think Harbour might be a little unnecessary to money man into the site. Loses himself a rifle, which Vodafone can leverage to do more damage to the economy ender on the lurk in through Donut. See if he can find himself a tasty snack of his own. Now starting to get collapsed upon by the rest of the CTs, but his crosshair placement, pretty nice until Kyson swings him with the 5-7. And at that range, I mean, we've all seen how that movie plays out.
Pretty decent win, all things considered, for Warriors here. 2 AKs, it's an eco round. Got to be somewhat happy. And Collateral, they obviously won't be upset at all. I'm down a freebie at this point, and with 2 guns, they can definitely afford to extend and potentially put a player in the face of Warriors. I'll probably be looking more so to let Omichala do it than Crafty, but all things considered, it won't really make a massive difference in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, rifle saves are nice for CTs though here. It's really going to shore up the util for Prodigy and Callum. You could drop some rifles over and give those guys a little bit of extra util if you wanted to, especially because Kyson's on 5.3, so there you go. Prodigy's going to have a full belt of utility thanks to those AK saves.
Nice.
They didn't get an AWP this round. And Collateral on for a third. They're starting to build up some momentum. Good counter utility in middle.
Player's going to be facing this really lovely trade for Warriors. Hobson getting the damage done after Callum goes for the cheeky swing. That makes it a very favourable little area for Warriors. Got to be careful not to overextend. EP has been incredibly sharp with the AWP in times gone. So Collateral now forced to make a decision. Looks like they're going to be wrapping across toward B through T. Where they go from here, though, they've still got so much time left. Cheater control in Warriors as well.
Yep. Kyson in a great position as you highlight. Prodigy kind of playing retake on the site here as Omi throwing out some util, see if he can catch one of these CTs and flush them out of their hidey hole. Great little entry from Omi, does even out the numbers. Collateral going to be given space and time to work with to set up in this post plan as Kyson just kind of contains them into the site as the rotations come through from Obson and Drox.
Well, the crosses here, they're going to double up. And that's going to be devastating for Drox. Now they've got complete control. Kyson, though, that's a huge pick, such a pivotal pick as well. With Obson coming back around on B ramp, this could really unravel Collateral at the moment. Where's Harbour looking? I don't think he's looking the right way. And Obson, with the freebie, might be able to find a second as well. Nicely timed volley, but it is in fact put out by the smoke. And a really, really nice retake from Warriors.
Yeah, good round all around. Trades out, they traded out favorably in middle as you highlighted. They had Kyson in a great position to just buy time. And Collateral, yeah, with a great entry from Omi, did give it a crack in the 3-on-4, set themselves up in that post plan, but it's not as favorable as it looks. You know, sometimes in those 3-on-3 post plants on some sites in CS, it can be super favorable for the T's, like almost unretakeable. But that's definitely not one of them, especially when you've still got that cheater control. That's similar to like the lowest side on Nuke, where you still got a player in control room or decon, or you still got control of vents as the CTs. Gives you more of those avenues to rotate in on. And as you could see with Collateral, there was just too many angles for them to watch, right? They're all kind of stuck on the side or towards CT, whereas the CTs have freedom of movement in through cheater. They can flank up ramp. They can apply pressure from spawn side and kind of pinch the Ts on the site.
Pretty convinced at this point that Vodafone Warriors are, if they weren't already in the driver's seat, their foot's pretty much on the pedal at this point. Both hands on the wheel. You know, Jesus taking the wheel here, my friend.
I think Collateral in not too bad of a spot. You can see money for Warriors is not fantastic after that retake where they only take through 2 guns. So Collateral, I mean, even now after reinvesting, have still got plenty of cash in the bank, about 2+ K on all of their players by Ender. So they have an opportunity, especially if they keep these rounds close, even if they're not winning them, they can kind of grind Warriors down over time. EP boosted up on big ramp eventually. Looking for a pick. See if there's a player towards the backside of the site. He's even going to get aggressive here. Try to activate and give Collateral that opening man advantage that he's been so good at finding. doesn't quite manage to capitalize on the Prodigy, and in the meanwhile, him and Kyson going to start to push in towards Cheetah side. Potentially into the open arms of the T's here.
Couple of isolated ones at the moment could definitely swing either team's favor. Doubled up on a Cheetah, one in cave. That, again, really, really important pick. I can't see anything at the moment, Pilly.
That's all right. Tyson does get traded out here. Bit of a messy 3v3. Still some presence over there on the wing for Collateral. You've got Harbour having a little bit of a geese. Drox in Donut. Doesn't spot anything in mid. Doesn't see the T scaling up. Prodigy taking space over here. As the smoke fades, is able to pick Crafty. Anticipating the peek from Harbour as well over towards spawn side, but opts to not take the fight. Just maintaining that man advantage for the CTs, and Collateral now going to commence a bit of a contact up ramp.
Rotated across with perfect timing as well. Unfortunately for Collateral, it was all too easy. Really lovely aggression down B ramp, finding that early little advantage, and with Obson again with perfect timing. That's just a bit of how you going.
Yeah, 3 guns up as well. Little bit better for Warriors. Starting to build a tiny bit of cash. Here's the reinvestment for Collateral, who have built themselves up loss bonus as well. So, look, they're emptying the bank accounts, but bomb plants will definitely help them out with these half buys, reinvesting. Nice opening from Omichella. Catches Callum, who was playing pretty aggressive in middle last round as well. He was trying to kind of repeat his nuke performance of just ego peeking everything and winning aim duels, but as you can see, bit of a double-edged sword of a playstyle. Contact down ramp with both of these players, and actually it works out beautifully. God. I thought EP was going to punish there, but Kyson and Prodigy both win duels, and now Collateral left with no map controller, sitting in the back of middle, only now just taking middle with 1 minute 10. They've used almost all of their utility, trying to run like a bit of a pseudo default, but they haven't really gained anything from it here, Manic.
Well, that's, yeah. Not ideal. It's definitely not ideal.
Like, the smokes are gone now. They don't even have any smoke coverage of mid. They're just going to go slink away, walk towards Cheetah, but here's Prodigy in their spawn. Kyson playing retake on the site. Again, like I said before, these are kind of similar to the angles of Cheetah, right? You've got that player kind of wedged in there on the CT side, just maintaining control. Kyson going to see if he can punish them on the cross here.
The alarm bells are certainly going to ring now. One smoke out. Kyson's not going to be able to find anything, but the information's there. I don't know how many players are there that they're just going to send across everyone. The full force comes out. It's a 3 versus 4. Prodigy so quick on B ramp. This just makes so many issues here for Collateral. Ender does not expect it, but Harbour with a very quick double. Importantly, Crafty gets shut down. Now he's on for the 1 versus 4 pretty much. And Harbour just waits far too long. That is so unlucky. He just waited a second too long, Pilly.
It was a sharp round, right? So many nice headshots out of Harbour. And basically the only way to win as T there is to shoot yourself out of a bad situation, especially because they had no util. So, look, they gave it a crack, but Warriors were all over that. Positionally, they were much better there. But like I said, with the loss bonus and the bomb plant, the T's are able to reinvest into this round. And with how close that round came down, only 1 CT surviving, the money is battered and bruised for Warriors, which actually presents an opportunity here for Collateral to reset the CT economy. And if they can do that, then they can potentially make a bit of a resurgence into this half. Callum almost gets caught rotating out of middle again, but this time, man advantage doesn't go that easily to Collateral.
And Warriors in the current position, I mean, you know, full control of this game at the moment. Only a handful of rounds left for Collateral to make something of their T-sided half. Amari with the control of Donut will start to give that information back across. Obson's going to have to deal with 2 of these players. They're just going to push to the smoke. They are, and the timing might just be there, but it dissipates as Ender looks to try and sneak through. Crafty with a very quick trade does lose over half his health. And Warriors still in a pretty decent position, even though they're split.
Couple of avenues of attack for the CTs here. Someone's probably got to aggress something, and that's going to be Kyson. He's going to push through Cave, retake Cheetah. That's some great info here. Callum also simultaneously pushing Donut. They're going to think about crunching mid, but Callum, after making contact on these Donut players, falling back into the safety of the site, trying to buy time for rotations, but he's caught by Harbor. Collateral now with site control and a man advantage. Omi cleans up Kyson in Donut as well. Now the bomb goes down for the T's.
Oh, unlucky for Drox. Nearly catches both. The Famis is going to be incredibly hard to win that battle. Prodigy, position known. HP dwindling. Find the quick one. He doesn't know. There's still a player there. What a flick on the Harbor. Oh my word. The wraparound from Omichella. And Prodigy with such little HP. Does he hear anything? Doesn't make a difference. Omichella, superior positioning and the HP to boot. That's a bloody decent effort by Prodigy, my friend.
Yeah, but that's the perfect round for Collateral to win.
Yeah.
Because Warriors' money is absolutely cooked now. They've got like 3 or 4 players under 2K. With how close that round before that previous came down, both just 1v1s. Prodigy winning with the defuse in the previous, but then going down means that the CTs are absolutely bankrupt. And with only so many rounds to play with in this half, they might even try and force here and give it a crack. See multiple players double eco, so indeed you do get the force out of Warriors. They're going to try and risk it for the biscuit. And with how, the same thing can be said for Collateral, right? They only came down with that one player surviving, Omi, at the end of the round, so they are bankrupt if they drop this round. That could be a reset for Warriors, and they could even pick up some AKs along the way.
Equally as much to lose at this point.
Yeah, it's a big swing round. Like, this could be Collateral back into the half, nice and easy, or this could be Warriors just running away with it.
Honestly, at this point, it does feel like Collateral have shown us enough that, at the very least in storylining, I'd much prefer to see Collateral walk away with this, but I do feel like Warriors are going to give them a fair crack for their money. We've seen what they can do with pistols. We've seen what they can do in dangerous positions. Hobson maybe getting a little overzealous there and giving the perfect opportunity for Michela to even things out. What a pick. What a pick from Callum.
Good util still available for the T's. They're going to throw a bit of a fake on that B site. Send one of those players up on in there. It's just Crafty on Money Man duties, looking for CTs, punished by Prodigy. But that was all a bit of a distraction. Omi now walking into Cave. Finds Kaiser as well. This is going to further pull the CTs apart. Has Drox heard anything from Donut? Omi now repositioning in towards Donut side. This should be a bit of a freebie for Drox, to be honest. That might even just be an AK in his hands.
Great positioning now for Drox. He can cut off that rotate back around. And now know that CT is going to be clear, and this is going to be quite a dangerous 1 versus 3 for EP. A lot on the line here. If he can force this back, if he can hold the wave of Warriors, he might have an opportunity. He's decided to rotate all the way through to CT, but look where the bomb's planted. It's not in a great position at all, and they're just going to get on top of it and stick it. They've got 10 seconds to do so. In fact, they've lined up. Oh, the timing. It was nearly there for EP. Unfortunately, stays out in the open a little too long, and Prodigy is quick on the trade.
Yeah, but again, only one player surviving. Bomb plant plus loss bonus for Collateral means that they reinvest here. And again, they have a chance to actually bankrupt Warriors. Like, that is just the side effect of rounds over and over again coming down to these 1v1s. Both teams have very little money to play with. So T's reinvesting here. Both teams lacking a little util here and there. Callum's got no util to work with. T's pretty limited with what they can do. And again, they've been playing pretty defaulty, so I'd be interested to see a bit of a quicker site take. Look at Warriors. They're straight down middle. Whole team's over here. They just want to brawl this round.
God. This is a really fantastic position for Warriors. Completely pulling off of A altogether. Mid and B, the focus here is now Prodigy can sit back and wait for this push to come in. Information given. Quick rotate should be coming out. Prodigy gets shut down. Warriors are going to be a little bit delayed here. pick up the AK in the meantime. So the upgrade from the MP9, it's all rifles here. As much as there is a FAMAS, they're going to get the damage done. Harbor's sitting back and waiting. A little bit of damage through the smoke, and it won't make a difference whether he does the damage, whether he finds a kill, because the rest of Warriors have fallen around the side. As you said, Pilly, really important round for Collateral.
Yeah. And I think a perfect call, really. Like, they've been playing so slow. They've been playing so defaulty, just spread out around the map, round in, round out. It's good to just mix up the pace after conditioning the CTs to play a certain way for the whole half and just go hit the small site. Nice and quick. Nice little exit. Get straight in there. Nice entries. And that is going to absolutely cook Warriors here. They've saved onto these 2 guns, but outside of that, you can see just how broke they are. 3 players, double eco. This is going to, again, be a force buy, I imagine.
And force buy in and around, as you said. No surprises there. And little to no option with only 2 rounds remaining. Even if you do fully save in this round, you're still not going to have that complete buy. You're still not going to be comfortable. Sporadic, either SMGs with utility or rifles with little utility. Obson, really unfortunate that spread just does not correct. Listen, can he find at least one? It's not to be. Collateral now well and truly back with their hands around this game.
Yeah, a little crunch onto the side there. Split straight through ramp and cheat up. Looked easy as you'd like for Collateral. They're really starting to get into the flow of things now. Which again is going to force Warriors to show some proficiency on their T side at Ancient if they want to try and fight for this game. They are a team that I think multiple players on this roster have come from teams that play Ancient. But it's a pretty new mix of players, I think. So we'll see how much prac they've got chemistry-wise on that T side.
Oh, they're going to feed him a little bit.
It's worth, though.
Effort and a half.
Taking that FAMAS away. I mean, it doesn't even matter if all 5 of them die. It's worth it for the FAMAS because they just got so much cash. It's right at the end of the half. It's not going to be able to afford to replace that.
Love to see Warriors get a little bit aggressive here. And not that they haven't been aggressive on their CT half. Certainly seen the moments sparingly from the B site with, you know, Prodigy getting aggressive down B ramp. I would say on a number of rounds now. We're seeing players pushing into mid. So it's definitely by no means been a quiet half from the CTs, but it's all ended in pretty equal terms. Collateral will be very happy about that.
Collateral again. T-side standard, just running a 1-3-1. Mid control with the smokes, applying some pressure, seeing if there's a reaction out of the CTs. As they did previously, it seems like they're probably going to wrap back towards Cheetah. But look at this contact coming towards ramp side from the Warriors.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Omichal is there to shut it down, but now Callum been quiet so far this map, but could go nuclear. Drock shutting down Harbor. That's a really big pick as well. Callum with an absolute snap onto Crafty. Realigns back onto Ender. And EP unfortunately left to pick up the pieces that were once his teammates. Bombs out in the open as well. This is not good.
Spotted out by Obson. Should be pretty straightforward right now. Smoked him off. Even if he falls back, he's gone straight into the arms of Drox. He's going to give him a nice big kiss in the back of the head, which is not how my mum used to do it. But look, we'll let it slide because Warriors, they've got themselves a 9-6. They've basically stolen a round away from Collateral. They did not have anywhere near the weaponry or utility of the T side that round, but nice couple of big plays from the boys, and they make a bit more of a half of it.
I wonder if the second, like if that's going to come back to bite Collateral in the second half here. Not Collateral. It was Collateral, wasn't it? Yeah. I do wonder if that's going to be the case. Obviously, Warriors walking around the more important numbers to their name.
Yeah.
And this push in right now, Obson's going to lead the charge. And I mean, if they can find an entry pick, even if they don't, they've forced Collateral back off of the site. And I don't think there's going to be too much of a response. Lovely realign. Oh, no! Not like this! What? Oh, the 4-piece! It was nearly a full house, but it's just short, and that is a huge round for Omicello to walk away with, and Collateral could definitely thank him for that one.
Yeah, he had no business getting any of those either. He got caught full white by one of the flashes. He retreats into the corner. He's got T scaling on him. Those are not easy shots to hit, but he made it look easy. He clicks on every single head and basically drags Collateral kicking and screaming out of a pretty dangerous situation to give him the CT pistol.
Oh, probably can't underestimate how important that is from Omicello, especially missing those first couple of shots. Like, the panic starts to set in.
You missed the easy ones, dude.
Yeah. Missed the ones where he was isolated in the 1v1, and then, you know, it's more so, I think more so speaks to the calm and presence to be able to realign that.
Ooh.
Really like that from Collateral.
Yeah,
Getting the faces.
This is good for the confidence. This is like
Yeah.
stomping, anti-eco, gets the blood flowing, you know? You're starting to send a message to Warriors. You're pushing down into their spawn. You're taking tools. You're bullying them with the rifles. That's what you like to see. In terms of, you know, tactical by the numbers Counter-Strike, terrible. But in terms of confidence, absolutely amazing.
Sounds like ANZ CS in a nutshell, my friends.
No, it's important though, especially in these league games. Like, you got to get the boys pumped up, and it can be a bit demoralizing to, like, you know, you're buying up Deagles and think, oh, I'm going to play a bit of a slower round here. You know, maybe I'll walk up into the C2 who's holding an angle. I'm going to have good crosshair placement. I'm going to hit the perfect counter strike. I'm going to shoot him in the head. Nah, you don't get to play. You don't get to play that round.
Certainly the boost that they would have been looking for after that first half. Honestly, I mean, if they go in to pin this back, I'm probably just going to be talking about the Omicello play on pistol. I don't care. No. I don't care how play-by-play that is. It's, oh no, Obson. Oh, wow. How does he find that pick? He should never be allowed to grab that. Oh.
CT's pretty centralized here. Double set up in cheater. You got one player over there in Cubby. Or as it's your favorite position to now call Chubby.
Chubby, yep.
I think Omicello's going to be key once again here, though. Sitting in the back of the site as the contact comes in. Going to get a boost up. Oh, he can't get caught in transition here, but they boost Drox. They boost the low player. He's so sharp, Rob. What is this guy eating for dinner?
He's having all his vegetables. I'll tell you what, he might
broccoli?
even...
Is broccoli the one? Is it broccoli or carrot? I need to know.
I think carrot for eyesight, broccoli for strength, and if I'm just being completely honest, Biocode Lab for overall presence and power. You know, I think he's had his carrots and his broccoli with some Biocode Lab, you know, supplements kind of sprinkled over the top of it like some garnish.
Sounds delicious. That's beans.
Breakfast and lunch and dinner for champions, and shutting down this round nice and quick.
This is bullying. They're bullying them, Rob. Collateral. They're looking like a team that plays Counter-Strike. They did not look like a team that plays Counter-Strike last map, but this map, they look like a team that plays Counter-Strike. They got a great economy, like 7+ K on 4 of their players. Warriors haven't had that like full buy yet where they get to do, you know, the default dance and play a T side. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're a pretty decent team, but it's looking damn good for Collateral.
It's certainly been overly convincing, and they're not going to go slow at all. They're just going to run straight out mid. They get in the faces of Collateral. And the response is there and the damage, but just not the kills. The number count is dramatically with Warriors, and if EP can't find this, the round is all but dwindling away. They've got control of the A site. And, I mean, how quickly the discussion can change. This could be big, though, from Omicello if you can find 1 or 2.
Don't feed this man. He's had enough to eat already. Callum finally puts him away, thank God. Harbour trying to weather the storm if you can. But there's some pretty rocky waters, I'm not going to lie. He's got 4 players to find. He's got Prodigy walking up behind him. That's maybe like the shark, doing like the Jaws music, perhaps.
Prodigy.
Pretty good round from Warriors. They take a lot of util damage busting out mid there every single time, but the flashes over the top to help them peak those CTs, they make all the difference, mate.
They do. Could almost call them the difference makers.
They're making something.
Oh, this is nice. No, it's not. I thought there was a nade stack coming in. In fact, there was. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm blind. Take me out to the pastures and shoot me.
Need to get you some carrots.
Oh, we definitely need to get me some carrots. You got any biocode lab supplements with you, Pilly?
Oh, Prodigy, straight through the flash. Doesn't even need carrots. Doesn't need to see a damn thing. 2-on-3 now. Very winnable. Droxby hops up onto the site. He's still got a player in towards Cheetah that could wrap around. EP posted. Just waiting on that line, but the shadow advantage, he wasn't expecting Ender that close. Both of the CTs close now. Drox tries to go for the pre-fire, but end up wrapping around. Should be a safe pair of hands. That's a great wide peek just to get it done. And Collateral, they steer the ship right. Warriors with such a clean round in the previous and the bomb plants to boot means that they're going to continue being able to buy here though. So look, the festivities aren't over for Collateral. And I have to say, if anything, Warriors is probably grinding them down over time. This is why I love the player cams, especially OS player cams. We've got some great players.
Some rare units.
Have you ever seen Rothloco bench Dobby from Harry Potter after winning a game in LPL Pro League?
I have not, my friend. Should I have?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a
Good
clip out
times.
there on Twitter.
I will. I'll have to go hunting after this. It's a tactical timeout, my friend, for the Vodafone Warriors.
I had to double take for a second because
why is that?
My producers told me it's a Vodafone tactical, and I've gone, hold on. Do we have a new sponsor segment?
I thought the same thing.
Am I meant to shout out Vodafone now?
I thought exactly the same thing.
Look, I will shout out Vodafone. Cheers for sponsoring a local team. That is worthy of a shout out.
Yep.
100%.
It's always, ANZ Investments, always where it's at. Of course, while we're here, SkySlide, Rocat, Samsung, Biocode Lab. This kind of stuff doesn't come together without them. So, it really is a good opportunity to just thank our wonderful sponsors. I know it sounds very pluggy of me, but I do say I am the king of plugs.
Not even going to go there.
Oh, no!
It's a good pick.
Oh, Obson. Not like that, my friend.
Yeah, CTs again, similar to what Warriors were doing in the last half. Very aggressive down middle. It's something we've seen from many top teams on Ancient. They love to mix in this middle aggression, kind of dominate middle and playing a little bit more flexible. Flash over the top, sends the CTs in. Kyson punished accordingly. Prodigy still with this ramp control. The T's are so split apart. It's going to take a big play from someone, and it's not going to be Drox.
Nope, it certainly isn't. He's gone. I mean, you're still talking about two of the sharpest players that they've got on Warriors, Prodigy and Callum, both with kills in this round, and obviously a large amount of kills to their name across the series. They have been sharp as attack. They've got to do one better now. There's one player sending in toward Cave. Omichala could completely unravel this. Prodigy's all on his lonesome. If Omichala decides to get aggressive here, this could be the round done. Prodigy, he does not realize that his backside is showing. But the good thing is, I guess, they've got absolutely no idea where Callum is. It's going to give him time to rotate because EP is not in a great position overall. But this is done and dusted. Callum's not going to get there in time. And another round. If he can take a... Oh, wow. He takes that M4 away and things aren't looking so dire. Collateral are really looking quite decent on this CT side.
Yeah, both teams pretty good money. T side plenty of loss bonus online, and they've also just been putting these bomb down pretty regularly, almost every round. Yeah, every little bit helps. Collateral, still great money for them. EP's got his hands on that AWP. Ender straight down middle, very mobile. B hopping up at the top here. Backed up by Harbour. Again, the CT's staying active in the middle. See if Warriors will have a response to this, maybe have a set retake, or whether they're just going to play the waiting game. Look at that CT util now, Rob. They've got absolutely nothing to work with at 1 minute 20. So if they don't find any impact from this mid control, then things could fall apart pretty quickly. And it's not looking good.
No! Drox! That is really not what you want to be seeing at all. A free kill looking completely the other way. And he actually walks away with a double. The timing. It's the timing from Omichella that absolutely destroys Warriors.
This is what I was saying at the start of the show, Rob. Like when I was going into this series, I'm like, Omichella. That is a really weird gamer name.
It is.
I've never seen this guy play. And then he's just dropping 30. Like just running around, 4K pistol, sharpest shots you've ever seen.
Yep.
This is what LPL Pro is all about, mate.
Yeah. You can see it's paying off. Certainly showing a pretty decent sign for this roster. I mean, all the adversary they went through. A decent adversary in the Warriors, but certainly Collateral have regrouped after Nuke, and even I would say the first 10 rounds of this map. Ancient wasn't looking great. I think it was like 7-3, and Warriors were looking in complete control. Still might be. Ender still finding one from just a little tiny gap within the smoke. As now things fizzle out a little bit. Warriors haven't taken any control of B whatsoever. They're more worried about this player that was over toward Cheetah now in Cave.
Yeah, really concerned about that re-aggression on Cheetah's side. Harper's been quite active over there this time. Bit more of a reserved approach. Backing it into Cave. Turns from the flash. Good movement from Callum. You could just see him cutting down the angles. Sidestepping his way in and does find the entry. Gives Vodafone Warriors the man advantage. Feel like this round really hinges on the fact that Crafty's got donut control. They're, as accordingly, going to be able to lean a little bit more heavily towards the side that Warriors is sizing up right now. But the T's have more than enough utility to be able to execute this site correctly and block off any of these angles from the CTs and get themselves into a nice little post plan. But great timing on the push from Crafty.
He's just not going to be able to spot him out on the backside, but he will be able to shut down the player in Cave. If Drox doesn't move quick enough, Omichella's been able to shut down the site. A lovely trade from Obson, but EP's there to make sure it works. And now Obson, oh, what a flick onto Crafty. He was looking for EP. He found his teammate, the comrade, the lone wolf. It's the double AWP. It's EP that has just been phenomenal in both series on the green machine. And now, Collateral are only 2 away from closing this map out.
Always like pre-firing the angles there from EP. I think it's like, wouldn't consider it correct to be shooting the orb because as you can see, like that's where I expected Obson to scope up, slide onto the line and just pick him as he repeats. But really, really good reaction time on EP. Credit where credit's due, just peeks into the opposing orber's line and he's a little bit quicker on the draw.
A little bit of damage to Kyson, but it's nothing to write home about at the moment. Ender's going to get aggressive with Har, but they've been able to spot out another player on that boost. Time and time again,
yeah.
Warriors have been punished by this cheetah push, by this mid push.
Look at Omi as well. Like 100%, you're right, Rob. Like I can't believe they haven't reacted to this yet. The amount of times they've been pinched by that mid play, it's the same thing over and over again. Harbor's been in Cheetah and Cave every single time. Ender's been running down mid every single time. Omichella's been at ramp every single time. And they're still getting called by it.
This is definitely not a great sight for Warriors to close out like the end of this match. Considering we go to Mirage next, I mean, this game is absolutely well and truly heated up. Collateral have put themselves in such a great position heading into map 3. And again, the all-important, oh, hang on a second, this is going to go out. Hey, sorry, we'll hold that thought for half a second. Crafty's going to get aggressive from Donut Smoke. Ender, the double trade, very nicely done. It has evened out, it's fizzled out. A 3v3 retake, this is where things have got to heat up.
Good pick from Drox on towards Temple side. Omichella's still alive, which means this round is very much a possibility. Drox trying to hold with an AWP in the back of the site. Prodigy under pressure. Trying to play around that smoke, and he does so beautifully. Takes that main threat out of the equation. Drox posted up on the line, just waiting for Harbour to scale up Donut, and that should be the end of him. Shot missed, though. But the time is really getting away from Harbour. That's another tap. He's going to tap the bomb, but Drox slides out onto the line. Keeps Warriors alive. Collateral now really hurting for cash, starting to run out of it. Good opportunity for Warriors to reset here if they win this next gun round. And look, then they're realistically within touching distance of OT. But if you're Collateral, you don't even want to let it get there.
Ideally not, my friend. And right on cue, Collateral Esports have decided that, you know, the best case here is to break that round down, give themselves a little bit of a breather, I think is probably the most important part of this. You're up 4 rounds. Sure, the economy is not in a fantastic position, but you've looked phenomenal in the second half. Even, you know, you could argue the first half was still pretty damn clean, all things considered. So closing this map out, they've got multiple opportunities to do so. And again, still, you know, OT is up the sleeve. It's not like we're just going to be either seeing a Warriors full comeback or, you know, Collateral just close it out. There is that third option. Decent time to take that ultimate breather as Warriors are once again going to be caught out. This time a lot more cautious as to that push in mid.
Double it, like multiple players anti-flash. Opposite still gets caught by the flash prodigy. Tries to peek and trade, but Harbor one step ahead still comes out favorably here for Collateral. Definitely the weak point of the defense, though, is Crafty over here at Donut side. Look at this, Omicello, instead of going down ramp side, is going to back up Harbor in Cheetah, and it works out beautifully. Collateral just cannot be dislodged from middle, and Drox knows he has to take matters into his own hands. He just sends it straight up through top mid. He's going to try and take a few pot shots at Omicello, but that is ill-advised, the way that this man's playing tonight.
It's really unfortunate there. I mean, the chance that he actually does shut down Omicello is, you know, maybe if it's not a little burst fire, there's a chance for a one tap, but Omi's moving so much there. It just makes things so difficult. Callum obviously can upgrade. He's got a Galil, an AK and an AWP underneath him, but doesn't want to give away that cute. Wants to creep up a little bit closer. Could isolate one of these fights, but then it's the other where things get a little bit more difficult. He's really got to extend past here to find Omi. He will be able to do so. Doesn't check behind him. Map done and dusted. Collateral are not done with this series, and nor are we. Solid performance.
Yeah. It's some more prac for you there, Rob. I mean, both teams bring it on their own map pick is what you wanted to be seeing. Both of them kind of going towards the edge of the map pool. I think Nuke maybe is a bit more in the center these days than it used to be. That used to kind of be like a specialist tactical pick, but I think most people have got a lot of reps, especially Nose on Nuke. Ancient, on the other hand, you know, still even at these levels, some teams are a little uncomfortable, and I think that really showed in Warriors' T side. With how close that first half was, they really just did not show enough proficiency on that T side. They were left wanting time and time again when Collateral was just throwing those same kind of mid crunches at them, you know, and it was just wasn't something they really knew how to deal with. So it's be a good chance for Warriors to kind of go back in the tape and maybe make a couple of adjustments going into the future, maybe shore up their map pool a little bit with some hard lessons learned on Ancient. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the El Clasico OCE 1v1 fisticuffs on Mirage, best of one, to see who's going to take the series away, which is, you know, basically how it's been for the longest time in domestic leagues in Counter-Strike. Even go back to like 2013, you know, just have a best of one on Mirage and we'll see who's going to win some money.
You make it sound so simple, don't you? It really is. At the end of the day, when it's Mirage on the line, things kind of even up a little bit. I think every single person in Australia, let alone in competitive play, is well and truly versed on Mirage. And well, speaking of that dusty map, we're going to take a very short break, and on the other side, it will be our final map of this best of three. Don't go anywhere.
Playing ground school. Playing ground school.
Both teams have taken each other's map pick, which means we head to, as Pilly has well and truly pronounced it, the El Clasico of maps. We head to Mirage for a good old-fashioned best of one. And really, at this point, Pilly, from what we've seen from both teams on their own map picks, I don't think I can really separate it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Warriors is probably the safe bet. Has to be mentioned that it felt like Warriors was a little bit uncomfortable on Ancient. And Omicello went like nuclear. He went absolutely massive. And the rest of the boys they were doing okay. Don't get me wrong, they were doing okay. But, it might take another 30-bomb performance for him to put them across the line on Mirage. And that's a fraggers map. And I think just across the board, I kind of back Warriors individually in most positions to be a little bit stronger in the fragging department. Felt like Collateral, they had like a much better read on how to play Ancient, and credit to them. Yeah. They go ahead, they exploit the map pool, they pick that map, and they've been rewarded for it. But now we've come down to the map that everyone knows how to play. And I think I back the Warriors squad, player for player a little bit more, but happy to be proven wrong. And look, we've already seen one upset here in LPL Pro. This is always my favorite. I love watching Knife. We don't do this anymore. We don't do this anymore. We just people in the big leagues and stuff. You never see this, and I miss it, to be honest. They just say, "Oh, X team won the knife round." Like, I want to watch it, bro. This is a source of entertainment.
It's literally like the best part of any map. Oh, Drox, you've gone too early there, son. I like the attempt, and it still might even out. I like casting knife rounds. I'll tell you what. Oh, hang on a second. It's 1-for-1. Oh, yes.
Oh, beautiful.
I love
Both
it.
of them knew that they're 100 HP. The good old left, right. So that's big. The boys on Collateral, they win themselves that knife round. So they're going to get their choice of side to start, which on Mirage means, pretty much nothing. Like close to nothing. I don't think side bias is really a thing. It's been a balanced map for a very long time. I think, when I used to play, I always like actually starting T-side on Mirage because I like how kind of free flow you can play. And if you can get off to a really nice lead with some good momentum, I like trying to stay one step ahead in terms of the calling. Like, you can run a bit more of a defaulty round into a Palace pop. And it feels like if things go your way, you can kind of set yourself up really nicely on the T side and kind of roll through with that momentum for the rest of the game. But a lot of teams feel a little bit more comfortable on the CT side, letting the game come to them and giving people individual agency. So it really depends on what kind of a team you are, I suppose.
Well, we're going to find out what both kind of teams they are. In fact, going to Mirage, the final map of this upper bracket matchup. Of course, the loser will go on to play down in the lower bracket against Camo, which, as we said earlier, that'll be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think for either one of these teams, that might be a death sentence, to be honest.
Really? You feel that strong?
I think Warriors could probably give him a crack. Collateral, look, honestly, on the right map. Omicello, if he's had his carrots and his broccoli, they could probably give him a crack too. But I think Camo's looking like a pretty solid outfit. Like, they made some good roster changes, so can't count him out for sure.
Gonna back him in a little bit. Well, that's still a full, at least, map away. And really, this is, again, much of an uncertainty. We may back Warriors individually, but I definitely think from what we've seen from Collateral on Ancient, I mean, you could probably go to argue the Ancient map, definitely on the CT side for Collateral, just looked like they understood. They had a much better game plan. Protocols seemed to be a lot more responsive. Like we weren't waiting a hell of a long time for Collateral to make moves after mistakes or potentially even upper hands from Warriors, which I think was a really key factor. We're going to see them start out on the CT side again, and this is going to be an important round.
Vodafone Warriors sizing up a bit of a B exit. You do have the crossfire here between Forest and Get Right. You got Ender. It's going to spot away and probably head over towards Pillar side. Then Omnicello in towards Jail. Or no, they're actually going to double up on the side here. Comes the exit, T scaling on in. Omicello started off well, but does get cleaned up and traded out. Ender baiting on the site, but doesn't really get too much as a result of that, Rob. So we do have a man advantage for Warriors in the post plant.
Hindsight's 2020, my friend. It's always easy to sit back and question decisions. Certainly, it could have been big if Ender had not have been checked by Drox. But now, retake is really going to be quite complicated. They've got a kit and they've got a smoke. One player up short. They've really got to try and find these picks quite early as well. Try and open this map up, this side up rather, but it's not going to happen. Drox shuts it down with a wonderful 3K in the very first round. And, well, so far, the prediction is holding up to be pretty firm here, Billy.
Yeah, I love a T-side pistol win on Mirage. I think this is one of the maps where I don't know how I feel about CT side forces. I actually don't mind the second round save into third round buy. A little bit less strong than when the A1S was super strong for a while, and it still is pretty strong. The A1S purchase in round number 3 definitely shores up those CT buys in round 3, and Mirage is a map where, unlike your Infernos, your Nukes, even your Ancient, I would say, those are maps that necessitate the use of util. You really need util to hold down your positions, but Mirage CT side a bit more free flowy. You know, you could do without util. You could play off flashes, just basic smokes. Here's a bit of an A exec from Warriors anti-eco, kind of running into a USP stack. So let's see if Collateral can get some damage done.
Unfortunately, not just yet. Still, double dinks well and truly viable. And with Callum so low, there are opportunities to find a pick. Is that no, that didn't just happen. I'm sure he would have been able to see the top of Drox's head. Otherwise, that is a wild, wild kill. Yes, it is the wild, wild west. And in a 2 versus 3, again, maybe, sorry, 2 versus 4, you might be able to find the pick onto Callum. After that, it's pretty much a no-brainer with only pistols and a whole bunch of running and gunning boys.
Good angle from Callum. Almost saw him going down there. I thought the plant was already down, but actually the bomb was just dropped default. No one planted it. Mac 10s getting some nice damage done there in terms of just getting some, farming up some cash for Warriors. Galil does get retrieved, and here we go. Here's this third guy from Collateral. Looking pretty good, have to say. A1Ss mostly across the board. Limited util in terms of things like mollies to stop pushes, but like I said on Mirage, that's less of an issue than other maps. See what Warriors' approach will be here with a significant weapon disadvantage. Not surprised to see a B pop here at all.
A bit of contact from Drox. Lovely time flash. Ender unfortunate. And unfortunately, gets deleted. Omichala has to go big here to stop the Drox train. Choo-choo, I tell you what, 5-0 and 1. Slow start here for Collateral. And they've got a really firm decision to make. It turns out that a double save is all that's probably on the agenda for now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful round from Warriors. Exactly the right call in a round like that. Multiple reasons. In third round buys, CT side, like I said, you don't have any mollies. Pretty hard to stop those B pops, especially with the fact that Warriors, they had some Mac 10 saved over a lot of the time in towards the third round. If you don't lose too many guns anti-eco, you will have SMGs. And again, B pop is the perfect kind of strat to utilize those. You can, if you can get a nicely timed flash like Warriors did, you can scale out into the side, kind of run and gun with the Mac 10 and run down the CTs. And there, the A1S is not nearly as scary as that range, like aggressing on short or trying to pull in from connector. So great calling from Warriors. They even pick up an A1S. So now their economy is absolutely flying, and they're looking like a pretty dangerous team here on Mirage. Collateral have got to go back to the drawing board. They've saved over a couple of those rifles to do some damage, but outside of that, probably waiting in towards round number 5 to get anything done here.
Gotta hit those ones, Omni. Really nice utility usage to force them back. This is a really interesting boost, but, well, it doesn't make a difference when you're that far up and you have that much control in middle. Obson's been able to get pretty much the freest opening kill of his life as Drox taking Kong control. And is stuck and shut down. Warriors being very clinical at the moment.
Yeah, it's good anti-eco. Well aware of the potential for aggression on middle. Epiphany grabs himself Deke there. Could do a bit more damage with that. Harbor's still alive with this A1S, but for the most part, Warriors regrouping over towards B. It's all been cleared out, so pretty safe site for them to kind of reroute towards, and Collateral see what damage they can get done as the kind of dwindling hours of this round await us. Harbour might even save this over and maybe drop an AWP. That could help them going for a double AWP setup in the next if they're interested in that. But this is kind of the dream start for Warriors here on Mirage. They've had a couple of clean rounds. Their economy is going to be super strong on T-side here. And this is exactly why I love starting T-side on Mirage.
Definitely allows for a lot of confidence. Harbour's completely blinded. Saw absolutely nothing of it, but still manages to find Prodigy. Don't want to throw too many guns at this. I mean, looks like they're going to go ahead and flush everyone. The entire cavalry. Hobson, the last to make contact here. Callum nowhere close. No opportunity for a trade. Overall, I guess the M4 gone. It's still a full buy for Collateral into this round.
Yep. They still have the option of going for double AWP if they wanted to, but they're going to opt for single AWP. Go for all the rifles and the util. Warriors, though, playing quite free flow at the moment, which is what I like to see. Obviously going in with the quick B pop on the bonus round. The anti-eco looking pretty nice with the mid protocols. All their ducks are in a row. Now they're running a bit more mid control here, but Epiphany down in underpass. It's a great flick all night long. He's been absolutely excellent on the AWP. First round, he gets it in his hands. In fact, most of his kills this series have got to be AWP frags, but it's a nice swing.
That's a gamer's swing there. Prodigy might be met with another piece of contact here. Crafty just on the outside of Con, waiting for that contact. With Ender backing away, I think that's the call for the CTs to try and retreat a little bit more. Ender gets re-aggression onto short, and Prodigy hunting to find himself a little bit of an opening. This is now going to be really dangerous for Collateral. 2 versus 3, they've got control of snipers. Crafty knows it. Oh, the timing for Prodigy unfortunately doesn't check outside of Rat Hole. That's all she wrote. First round for Collateral, and a very important one at that.
They don't retain that AWP, though, and they can't afford to replace it. So a big tool in Collateral's arsenal is something they're going to have to go without into this next gun round. Going to have to look towards their other win conditions. Obson picks up the AWP for Warriors, who have still got plenty of cash due to the fact that they had just such a fantastic start in this game. Mid-window smoke gets put out by the molly of Epiphany. That might give him a little one-way to play with. You can see he's kind of sitting on the edge of that window smoke, seeing if he can spot a T. HE nade from Omi. Does get a little damage onto Obson. Very slow round from Warriors, wanting to run a full default. Just waiting for Collateral to aggress. You can see the pop flash over the top of middle. Collateral, they're trying to make plays. They're trying to find picks. And Warriors not really obliging them too early on here. Going to start extending a couple more Molotovs out that big side, but off angle from Omi is rewarded. Warriors again lose the first pick.
And this time, there is no trade. No trade in sight. Prodigy, who managed to find himself a very quick pick back on the EP in the last round, is no longer able to do so. Hobson, the AWP, probably has to be careful not to actually give that over to Free. But with 50 seconds left, they've got to go for something here. If Hobson can find this kill, this would actually kind of be large. The only player in a country mile of B at the moment, and it's completely opened up. The problem is Callum's so far away, the bomb's not going to go down for at least another 10 seconds.
Callum's got a flash, though. He's going to send Obson. Oh, actually, flash is over. I thought he was going to send Obson onto the market line. Flash assist is not needed, though. He just goes and gets it done himself. Rolls up his sleeves and puts the boys on his back here. Obson's opened up this site well and truly. That's beautiful. Bogdan's Law throws the Obson, or the AWP over to Obson. He's quite low here, and Callum repositioning now onto short.
Provided Obson isn't really overexposed to platform, this is going to be really hard for Collateral to deal with. I've got a flash and a molly to use, but I don't think it matters. The site's so open at this point. If he can find this opening pick, he certainly can. Harbour goes down. At least Crafty knows where one is. Obson has to stay alive when he does one better. He sends Crafty to the Shadow Realm. And Warriors with another massive 2vx situation that they've been able to confirm.
Yeah. Had no business winning that round at all. It's just individuals taking agency and making plays. Obson in particular. I mean, this is why he was kind of getting hyped up at the start of this year a little bit. He had some pretty insane numbers. He had a great local Melbourne LAN where I think he was the MVP, even with some pretty decent players in attendance. And he's just going to put Warriors on his back there. Definitely worth his weight in gold. This has forced Collateral onto a soft reset. Obson creeping out that A ramp line. Carson just sliding out of Palace. All the picks going the way of Warriors, and they're just going to further control this A site with more and more utilities. Smoke to con, smoke to jungle, Molotov onto ticket, flash over the top. The CTs are just getting absolutely battered here.
Wasting no opportunity. Warriors using full util on this kind of, I guess, half buy from Collateral. And I mean, if you don't, you are going to get punished. Fortunately enough, the one smoke that's remaining is actually Obs and Savior, I should say. Crafty might just be able to hold on to the scout for now. Even for now, comes with an asterisk. But it does look like Warriors are not willing to give over any AKs or AWPs. And overall, again, clinical showing from Warriors.
Yeah, great util usage. Just to minimize risk and deal with this half buy. Pushing and pulling the CTs into more uncomfortable positions and punishing them accordingly. It's good stuff. Collateral now with the opportunity to buy. Scout's just going to be thrown in spawn. No one really wants to use that. Going to take a pause. Imagine here for Collateral. They're in a rough position. It's a Warriors tack, so Warriors, they want to try and stay ahead of the 8-ball here.
Yeah.
Don't mind that at all. They recognize how strong the position they are in is, and again, like, this is the great thing about starting out T-side on Mirage is when you're just rolling, you're free-flowing, you're constantly winning these important rounds, it can get very, very easy to kind of streak away with the game, because if you're pressuring that CT economy correctly, you're always kind of forcing the CTs to live paycheck to paycheck. You're resetting those those economies and getting 2-for-1 rounds when you're winning these gun rounds, and it's what Warriors have been doing pretty nicely so far. Double AWP this time from Collateral, though, is maybe the change-up they'll need.
Energy out. The point of the spear. Harb is going to be able to find one. Drox with a very quick trade. Ender now has control of Palace. Whether they'll know he's in there or not is a completely different situation. Does he go for the peak right now? He's taking his time. Omnichala, in the meantime, has gone down. Ender chose his time to strike perfectly. But the problem is, there's only 2 players left. It's a 2 versus 2. Oh, EP. Nearly a fantastic shot.
Even better one from Drox, though. Crafty now 1-on-2, and this is one of the hardest crossfires in the game to break. You got a player on ramp and a player CT. It isn't planted for Obson though, so you can kind of pressure and try to cross to default, but he's not going to be allowed to do so. Obson is just infallible right now, 14-1. This is what I'm talking about. Warriors, they reset the CT side. It's a soft reset because you're full loss bonus at this point, but it's still a reset. And it's just another great call out of Warriors. Like, as soon as Collateral pick up the double orbs, they go for an A contact.
Wow, Obson is absolutely destroying this game. I really only just paid attention to the KD. I know we've said his name a lot so far, but that is showcasing some fine form. And immediately off the back of a Vodafone Warriors tactical, we're going to see the Collateral tactical. And again, it's probably this team in particular that really needs it. Sure, they would have been a little bit dumbfounded by Warriors taking the tack in the previous round, so they've even been a little bit thrown off by that. And that is all hearsay at the moment. Warriors need to be careful not to give over anything early here, but certainly shaping up toward A.
And again, Obson's just filling out the game. Just walking out of A ramp, posting on some of these deep lines, allowing the riflers a bit more space to work with. And Collateral, it kind of feels like they're running out of steam, like not even really connecting very many shots for the most part across the board. Warriors are winning a lot of duels. They're being very kind of assertive. Going and playing with confidence on this T side is definitely working wonders for them.
Well, that's a clinical... again, just another display for Warriors. I know that it's only a pistol round. I know that there's not much in that. But again, you probably are looking to the small things in this matchup. And this is really important as a last map in the series, obviously, as we've kind of discussed. Camo in the lower bracket awaiting the potential loser of this matchup. Not the potential, it will be the loser of this matchup. Collateral are not in a great position. They kind of need to close out the rest of the half here. Every round that gets away from this point, Warriors just have that much extra room to use on the CT side, and Kyson nearly absolutely deletes Crafty. Not Crafty, sorry, EP, but it's not to be. Crafty with the swing for the save.
Yeah, Collateral finally with a man advantage. Ender on this off angle as well. Should be a freebie for him, and indeed it is a 2-man advantage now for Collateral. They need to make sure they're converting this one and converting it cleanly so they can try to make a bit of a resurgence into this half. Omicella covers the cross from short nicely. It's a cute little opening part of the round for Warriors. They tried to send Obson up into Palace side and throw a bit of a later window smoke to force that CT rotator into jungle and potentially get them a bit of a free pick, but Collateral were playing a 3-1-1 that round, so a bit more of an A emphasis, ends up being a bit of a scissors, paper, rock situation for the CTs.
Well, I'll tell you right now, paper beats rock every day of the week. Trox, as light as a feather in con. Another repeat. Oh, that's a shot you can't afford to miss. I don't think it's really going to pay massive dividends for Warriors. Look, they may actually be able to rotate across to B. Oh no, not again. Has he been able to get around? Drox just gets around in time.
Oh, it's done.
God.
I don't need to see the rest of the round. If this was a demo, I'm hitting next round right now.
Oh, this is going to be hard to rewatch. Obson, does he go absolutely nuclear here? Does he shut it down? Both players are sprinting straight up short. A lot of noise is being made. Obson connects with the first and the second as well. He'll take the 4K. Cleaning house at the moment. Warriors, as far down as they may be, they are never out.
Just clinical. Playing a hell of a game, and like I said, this is what made the teams that Obson was playing for in the earlier parts of this year have a good run of form and actually look like they could start punching above their weight and maybe even take on, you know, the likes of like the Vertexes and TGGs. Never quite swung to those heights, although they did play them close. But Obson was obviously a very, very big part of that. And at this level, I mean, you could just see when he's playing to his ceiling, he is farming. He looks like he's in another caliber because when he's playing his top level game, he is. And I think a play like that, like multiple 2v4s lost, I don't think you can really mentally recover from that as Collateral. Like you're probably down and out of this series at this point.
Well, you would be, Pilly. Mental's rather weak, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm a bit of a beta male.
Yeah. Bit of a tilter.
For sure, 100%.
Harper's going to be able to find the free pick as it comes through, and you know what? Drox is going to get caught down to the backside of the smoke as well as he find a triple. That's a devastating first opening portion of the round. Never mind it being an opening portion of the round. That's the round gone. Kyson left in a 1 versus 3. Not that it's unwinnable or anything, but god damn.
Let's not give him too much room to work with. He's giving multiple 1v1s here, multiple opportunities.
Why?
Ender overextends. They haven't really done very much damage to him here. Crafty, that's a clever angle. He's crept up close towards Tetris side. Could probably seal the deal here. Oh, it was great crosshair placement from Kyson. You saw it coming. Crafty's going to get it done. And that's a second round for Collateral. It's a nice round for them to win, but it's not a round that fills me with confidence. Because it's one thing to win a pistol armor buy with a nice little stack, a good position, good timing. But they've kind of been getting slammed in gun rounds. So that really needs to change right now.
Well, look, if there's ever been a good note to talk about, we saw, you know, the first half of Ancient finished 9-6 in favour of Warriors, and Collateral had no issue really taking control of that game when they swapped onto the CT. Maybe we might be able to see something similar. Kyson spots out the foot of Harbour trying to get on top of Vars, and that is really just not fantastic. Trying to be polite here, but that really sucks for Collateral.
It's not cricket.
It's not cricket, my friend.
Rip Warney.
Too soon.
Gone way too soon.
It's too soon.
Him and Steve.
Oh,
Just never
why
ends.
would you? That is far too soon, Pilly. It's just
Far too late for Collateral to start winning rounds, I think. Could be wrong about that. It's looking good for him. They got the man advantage. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Crafty's in a pretty nice position. Up on Tetris there.
nice.
Yeah. They're locking it down. Obson's still alive, so look, I'll reserve judgment.
How much longer? Oh, Bison with a really lovely little piece of movement, but unfortunately, Obson's nowhere near him. There is absolutely no chance of even cutting off the rotates. Again, talking about things you've really got to be hitting. EP will certainly clean that one up toward the end. And again, I will say, maybe the next 3 rounds, and I'm not a doom and gloom. You know what? I bet you he was itching his nose.
He was looking at the
Guaranteed.
minimap, bro.
100%.
All been there. Sometimes you get the third map concentration span. That's a real thing, for sure.
Yeah?
Here's this 1-4 from Warriors, though. They're going to go pretty quickly out of A.
Yep.
Good opening from Epi, though.
Nade over the top. Oh, that's bowling, I'll tell you what. Oh, look at Crafty. Crafty's just going to be able to have his pick of the lot here. Warriors going 1 by 1. Oh, if he keeps his rifle out, I'll tell you what, that is literally 1 by 1. Unfortunately, opts to save himself even for a small second, but all 4 players from Collateral over here. That piece of utility is certainly going to keep him here. Oh, no. Obson, oh, I've seen crazier things, certainly today, but Harbour's not going to let it happen.
Crafty's got to stepping up here. A lot of pretty big multi-frags coming out of him, even though he's had a bit of a shocker on the first coupler. He's a late bloomer. He's here to play. Definitely can relate to that.
Being
So
in play
Warriors,
or being a late bloomer?
I don't know. Take a pick. Quick smokes on stairs and jungle here for Warriors. They're going to go for a nice quick palace pop.
Pop, pop. 1-2. Harbour's sitting back. Crafty in a position to come through the smoke at bench. Harbour, can he hold down the line? Certainly can. He gave Crafty the small respite he needed to find that. That's a really, really fantastic molly. And at this point, it's pretty much around in a very, very strange position. Again, this is still winnable for Warriors. Don't get me wrong. Time's ticking. It's already 3/4 down, but I'm still not a believer.
Yeah, Obson's alive. Lord and Savior. His 4 heads on full display, but still not enough. Collateral, they're putting a little something together.
Now, is Ender frozen, or is he just stone cold?
Yeah, definitely frozen.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen him move out of
That's
that
pretty.
position the
I'm
entire
feeling a
night.
little intimidated. Can we switch to someone else?
No.
Like, it's pretty alpha pose. He's just staring
No.
me down. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Back to
Oh,
Ender,
God.
surely.
He's living up to his name, dude. It looks like he's doing some ending.
In the world at the moment, there's again, I want to reiterate, it was a 9-6 first half on Ancient, and Collateral absolutely took over the game in the second half. It could well and truly still happen here. You don't want to count this out. I like this. Little Palace push, but does Ender expect they're already up on Tetris? You bet your bottom dollar he does.
Camera angle. I can't. 4v5 for Warriors. Prodigy gonna do what you do when you're 4v5 on the T side and maybe try and walk into the small site. Put yourself in a cheeky little post plant and you never know. Anything could happen. Homie just jump spotting for info. So try to spot one of the T's and drop himself a smoke to play around on Jail's side because Epi is pretty far up middle, but well worth his weight in gold because he's found that opening pick. Oh, it's
Oh, Michala.
Collateral's getting rolling, man. I wasn't a believer, but I'm starting to be a believer. Okay, I'm still alive. 1v5. Okay, yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't need to see the rest of the round, Manic.
I've seen it happen before, and I will see it happen again. He's on the line as well. Obson nearly given a freebie. It slows down. A little calm before the storm.
Collateral's sweating bullets right now, man.
Knowing full well what he can do. Just look where Crafty is, though. He's already all the way up in apps. So the second he repeats back out on the angle, he will be caught. He will be shut down. And Collateral have won the remaining 4 rounds of the half in a crucial point in this match.
Yeah, it's 5 in a row. After being down 1 and 9.
Wow. Were they 1 and 9?
They were down 1 and 9. And they got 2v4'd twice.
Well, they nearly got 1v5.
I felt it. I felt it coming. All right. Well, Collateral now on T side. Got to grind the game back. It's very doable. Like 9-6 is not a very scary score line, and it's very clear. Like the momentum is starting to really swing back towards Collateral. Warriors starting to quieten down a bit. Kyson pushing into beat apps, does spot that first player and gets out of dodge.
Wow. Straight away. Retaliation here from Warriors. It's going to be swift. Prodigy got to be careful not to overextend in 2 different areas. He's going to be fighting on all fronts if he's not careful. Crafty, the lovely pick, but that's what you want from Drox. Perfect timing, swings wide, gas 2. Prodigy comes alive from short. And it is just not great. It is not. Oh, Hubba. Nah, gonna reload. He gets caught out.
I thought you were saying Hubba.
Hubba. Hubba Bubba. That could be a new sponsor, Hubba Bubba.
Hubba
Is that still around?
I don't know. But
Ivan.
Those the Hubba Bubbas lost flavor in like 7 seconds flat.
Yeah, they did. But you know what? It was the experience of the Hubba Bubba. It was the experience.
Still lasts longer than it's not. It's not. Collateral, they got the plant down, so they're going to be forcing into this one with the Khalils yet again. Rob trying to play for that reset on the CT side.
Yeah. I like this, straight up mid. Might be able to catch him out. A lot of damage done to Ender. You can't swing mid after a nade and expect not to get caught out. And this is going to invoke a response from Collateral that is a full rush out on site. Crafty leading the charge. Kyson holds firm. He can still isolate one more 1v1. With the smokes, it'll actually allow Omichala to get back into position. He's pushed straight out of pillar. And Warriors shut down the thought of Collateral's push.
That's big from Warriors. Big round to be shutting down with so many players alive. Really builds the money. Cheeky little mid push as well. 1-3-1 into that that second round, expecting the force, I think. And really taking the fight to the T's before they can get a little cheeky exec or get themselves comfortable. Again, a 1-3-1 here from Warriors. Really trying to jump up onto short and take those long-range fights with the M4s and really bully the T's here in middle. So far, so good. It's working out. Could be getting themselves a nice 12-6 lead. And look, Warriors are going to want to try to hold on to every single rifle that they can here. Last map of the series. Just try to maximize that CT economy and give yourselves the best chance at winning this map.
Oh, look. I don't know why. In my head, I thought Obson was halfway up short there. I thought that was going to be something cheeky. Not to be. Lovely little taps away. They all line up. One's back out with a pistol. Giving haircuts out for free at this point.
Oh, juggle the rifle.
Yeah.
Callum.
Oh, Callum. No. He threw it over to you.
Yeah. That's rude.
That wouldn't have happened on your team, would it, Pilly?
Definitely would have. 100%. He probably would have dropped the Khalil if that was my team. For nothing.
Ended up with nothing.
Yeah.
With nothing. Well, I guess it's a short hop, step, and a jump away from upgrading everyone else with fully upgraded rifles, AKs, M4s, AWP to boot. And I like this from Callum. Oh, the flash has just allowed Ender to get a little bit too close, and a little bit too close for his own comfort. Crafty won't expect the boost over from Prodigy. Will Prodigy spot him?
Oh,
he will not. He will not.
The gun
It's
model.
the gun model. It's devastating, and now Callum needs to try and hit some sharp shots. Drox is open up for 3v3 on the A side.
Oh, Crafty in jungle, though. He could have unhinged the CT position and given them a bit more space for the team to start to fight for his side. But Callum Murray skewers him up by like a bunch of squid. Nice little 3K for him.
Ooh.
Prodigy 100% typing CL right-hand 0 in console right now.
Yep. That just sucks. Like, it's just no other way of putting it. That just sucks.
Oh, there's still
Nut
one.
models, man.
Still one. Here's the half buy from Collateral. As you often see on Mirage, they're going to go for a B exit.
Oh, lovely little quick boost, but it's not going to be enough to find the kill, and it does, in fact, find a double trade. Oh, sorry, double collat. Also backs away for half a second. Yeah, this is a...
What's that T doing on his knees?
He's praying to the heavens above that this onslaught
I've never
doth
seen
not continue.
I've never seen a ragdoll do that, Rob. I've been casting and playing CS for more than 10 years now, I think.
It's a sign,
I've
Pilly.
never seen a ragdoll do that.
It's a sign, Pilly. That's all it is. Prod, can we get a replay for that for the end of map? It is. It's a sign, Pilly. We were meant to be here tonight. You know.
Yep. It's a special occasion.
It is a special occasion. Caught with the AWP out in hand. Got to be a little bit cautious. CT aggression will actually force Collateral right off the angle. Kyson, oh, you wouldn't repeat that again.
Just smoking off the end of apps, making it difficult for the teams to take control of the extremities. Gives nice info over to Warriors and allows them to inform their rotates. Because he's got so much control of apps, Prodigy can lean towards middle more. Help out Obscent. Maybe look for a pick. Spots out the noggin of Ender, who is actually just going to go forth into Con and take out Callum. Nice man advantage for Collateral. They're still pretty split up in terms of personnel, though. Warriors going to try to recover the man disadvantage by boosting Prod up onto bricks, and worth mentioning, Drox is deep in A ramp on a bit of a mission of his own.
All that noise from Prodigy, I mean, it's not going to really amount to much for Collateral, but you know that Omichal has been able to hear every single footstep. Ender with con control. And I mean, the thing is, Warriors have completely forfeited it altogether. Drox, as you said, he's definitely going on an adventure.
Yeah. He is absolutely sent it with no return address. Prodigy from short, though. Doing pretty nice for himself. Picks two players trying to come up Con. Collateral, this is falling apart at the seams here, Manic. 15 seconds. They're going to try and get that plant down on triple.
Well, oh, God, that's a little bit unfortunate. Prodigy can't find the correct shots, but Drox from behind. That's a freebie. And just way too many targets to try and fight at one time. Match and series point for Vodafone Warriors.
Took him a long time to get all the way around. He flanked the whole map just to go back and anchor the same site he was holding. Beautiful story.
I will say it's always the problem with pushing A main, isn't it? You always feel like you get halfway through T and then you go, am I doing the right thing right now? Like, are they in Palace? Are they sneaking in mid? There's always the rare occasion where you make it back in time and it works perfectly. Like you said, it probably took him a good 40, 50 seconds to get back around, but he makes it work. And Warriors have certainly made this work.
Sometimes you are where you're meant to be, you know? That's the moral of the story.
Gandhi, is that you? Oh, jeez, and that would be a pretty sucky way to finish a game if Warriors do end up closing this out, which may not happen just yet. Collateral may have something else to say about it. Oh, Crafty, no. Oh, no. Oh, Crafty, no.
Not so crafty after all. Collateral, 3v4. Trying to go for picks out both extremities at once. Harbour trying to force his way out Palace. Omi on B. Doesn't get picked by the AWP at least there, Rob.
Is that the takeaway we've got from me at this point? Well, it's not a takeaway anymore. Oh, Gleison with the double zoom. He's still just allowing Prod to sit up in boost, in ninja, and I mean, try you, mate. Warriors have put on a fantastic display so far on Mirage. And Pilly, I think this is one for the ages. This is one for the books. Come on. Just die. Just get shot. Just one shot. Are they going to knife him? No. Prodigy closes things out. Vodafone Warriors will continue onto the upper bracket final.
Beautiful. Pretty convincing win from them. Has to be said on multiple maps. Ancient, some tough lessons learned though. I think that's a nice pick for collateral, and when they do have the kind of right level of preparation, and it has to be said a massive performance from Omi on that map, that they can be a pretty solid team. So I'm hoping that they can have a bit better of a run against Camo. That's going to be a pretty tough team for them in the lower bracket, has to be said. And as for Warriors, I mean, they only have to play, I think, God's Work in the upper bracket. So I'd probably back Warriors as probably a lock-in for playoffs at this point, or for the next stage, rather.
Well, I mean, definitely when we look at how they've performed so far today, I don't think there's any doubting it. I think really, as we kind of touched on, T-side of Ancient just wasn't up to scrap, but every other piece of this puzzle was fantastic. And I think one major point that you touched on as we were going into Mirage is, the individual prowess of all of their players. It's the a very big conversation that we have about, like the sum of the collective being equal to that of the, sum of the individual, or the addition of the individuals. And it does feel like for Warriors, they've got a fair, decent fighting chance. God's Work, don't know what they're going to be able to put in, but certainly it's going to have to be a long shift if they want to take down Vodafone Warriors in their current state. Yeah,
for sure. They're looking in some good form. Obson had a hell of a map on Mirage. It was a bit of a throwback to some of his earlier form this year. When he gets himself rolling, he's just insane. And it's not just very, very sharp aim, but you can see the game sense there as well is pretty phenomenal. So, a bit more consistency, a couple more maps like that, and he's going to make a couple more teams a nightmare here in LPL Pro.
Well, that's it. The thing is, it's God Works, and then it's qualified for the next stage or next season. So it's a very big opportunity for Warriors at this point, and they have certainly convinced us of what they've got to offer. We welcome Prodigy to the broadcast for the interview. Prodigy, my friend, that looked like a pretty clean Mirage, I will say that much. How are you feeling after what was a bit of a strange Ancient, I will say?
Well, I won't lie. Our Ancient was a bit, how's it going? But we don't really play Ancient too much. We were just focusing on if you're feeling it, boys, just get a flash, swing them, just work on our aim and be confident and fight. And obviously after we lost B ramp control a lot, we were getting fought from mid, and they played very well on the CT side, and they sort of countered us. And we started to lose a bit of confidence, and we didn't take many fights, and it just crumbled a bit from there.
Yes, I got two things for you, Prod. First of all, congrats on the win. Last time you and I were brought together in CG and this now LPL. At least you've been able to win a series, so that's good. Definitely improvement in that regard.
You don't got to do me like that, Billy. Come on, man. What's this?
As for this team, though, this is like a bit. It feels like 5 different players almost coming from different teams that were doing pretty decent last season, or at least were playing at a decent level. So how did this team come together? Tell us a little bit about that.
The team, when it was first forming, it's hard when a team obviously first forms or whatever. You got to figure out what everyone likes. You got to trust your teammates, and you figure out what you want to do and how you want to play. I feel like this team is also, like I said, confidence heavy. We're really sharp. James is very good on the AWP. Obson's very good on the AWP. Callum's a great caller. He's good at reading the game, and I feel like we gelled together pretty well. And from here on, it's just I think it's just going to be strats based and playing to our strengths.
I was actually probably leading into my next question. What's on the horizon? What are you looking for out of, I guess, this season and beyond?
for the first season for the boys, I'm not going to put the expectations too high, but everyone should say we're going to win the league. So I'm just going to say that for now. And beyond that, we're going to look to make obviously international qualifiers, make those, win everything we can, and just keep the grind on and keep our heads down.
I love that. You're not going to put much expectation on the boys, but we're going to win season 1. That's for damn sure. Prodigy, thank you very much for joining us, my friend. We wish you the best of luck in your match.
Not too much expectations, but we're winning the major. We're winning the major, boys. Too easy. Simple. Who the hell is that?
There's no expectation, but if we don't win, we're disbanding. Like, it's over. It's over.
That's actually
it's time to have a look back, Pilly, at what was a very, very entertaining night. I think at the end of the day, the result was what we expected from the Vodafone Warriors matchup, obviously. Collateral definitely held in there on Ancient.
For sure. So they got to go down and play Camo. That's going to be a difficult team. If they actually turn up to their game, they'll be hard to beat. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of this does sort of break down. I think God's Work, we haven't seen them play. They're a mixed team of, you know, the core 3 of the players have played a couple of different domestic leagues. I think they're going to have a tough time against I think it's Warriors in that upper bracket, right? So yeah. I wouldn't really not be surprised to see Warriors win that one, go through in towards the next stage. And I think already just with the limited amount of work that they've been able to put in, exactly like Prod said, they've got a good mix of players with some decent experience and a good kind of skill set that gelled together. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that team, you know, slowly on the come up and continue to improve if they stick it out.
They certainly look like they're going to be quite dangerous. Pilly, I'll give you, final thoughts if you want to have anything to say. Obviously, this is the first 2 days of the season. You've seen pretty much every team, of course, outside of Camo and God's Work. Any remarks before we close up shop?
Yeah, I think it's a good couple of up and coming teams, and as you often do see after the off season, you get a couple of roster shuffles, and although it is like a little bit of a meme with the Oath shuffle and all that kind of stuff with Counter-Strike, it is an exciting time because sometimes you do actually get a couple of the boys coming together and putting a pretty solid squad together, and Warriors is a good example of that. And I'm keen to see how they go if they do make it into the next stage, because that's where the competition does get tougher. Some pretty good teams in that next stage for sure.
Well, all eyes are now set on next week, of course, because that's all the action we have for this week. Week 1, if you will. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for joining, and of course, a big thank you to LPL for letting me join. It's been a hot minute. Very much enjoyed it. Pilly, I love your work as always. Can't wait to see you very shortly. For everyone that is in Melbourne this weekend, we hope that you stay safe and enjoy the festivities. But please remember, next Tuesday, 6th of September, Arena taking on Elemental Esports and an Underground taking on Nuts E. Until then, please stay safe, take care and enjoy.